What's going on? This your favorite fly guy, Charles Gregory. We Talk Weekly. Listen, everyone always asks me, they inbox me, email me, all type of things. We're trying to find your podcast. I mean, we can find your videos everywhere. All we have to do is go to WeTalkWeekly.com, or all we need to do is go to YouTube, or all we need to do is turn on Business Bully Channel, turn on Higher Than 7, turn on, we can find you. But sometimes I just want to work out and I want to listen to your podcast. I want to hear the latest in the sizzle, entertainment news, or good news and bad news, or just simply, I want to hear the interviews, some music, anything sports. I just want to listen. And I don't know where to find your podcast. I said, you know what? It's real simple. All you have to do is ask the right person. Watch this. Hey Alexa, play We Talk Weekly's podcast.
Here's We Talk Weekly from Amazon Music. Here's where you left off in the latest episode. Olivia Jade Red Table Talk, Kevin Hart backlash for Netflix special No F's Given, and more.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to We Talk Weekly's After the Talk. And I'm your boy Charles Gregory with the beautiful
Classy Lady Sparkle.
See, I told you. It's not that hard, ladies and gentlemen. All you have to do is ask the right person. Ask Alexa. Look, I'm out here. Thanks for watching. Keep supporting. Keep subscribing. Keep telling people to chime in. We out here like last year. I love. Yeah. We Talk Weeklies After the Talk with WPPMRP Philadelphia 106.5 FM. We Talk Weeklies After the Talk with your boy Charles Gregory. Beautiful.
Classy Lady Sparkle.
Oh, let me get your mic. I don't hear your mic. Give me one.
I don't hear it.
There
There
you
we
go.
go.
There you go.
Yeah, Classy Lady Sparkle.
And we got a new co-host right here.
Where's the hands?
I'll give you a round of
I know
applause.
that's right. She knows.
There you go. You got a round of applause. Yeah.
Thank you.
So why don't you let everyone know who you are? So, you know, what we tend to do. 1 second before I let you introduce yourself. 1 second. So this is what we generally do here at We Talk Weekly. So oftentimes we got people who come by the show that have some interesting things to say, especially as it relates to some of the things that we do here on We Talk Weekly, right? And so we got we have someone that's going to talk a little bit about some politics, right? We got people talking about some lifestyle stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got someone talk a little bit about fashion. That's one of my favorite things. We have someone with whom I have a tremendous amount of respect for that actually was a guest, but no longer a guest, right? She a friend to the show and would pop in every month or so to talk that talk. So how are you, my friend? How are you?
I'm good. I'm great. I'm so excited. Happy to be here.
I give a round of applause for that. Round of applause. So why don't you, real quick, why don't you let everyone know kind of like who you are and what you do,
Well, hey, everyone. Good evening.
Yeah.
I will tell myself welcome back because this is my second time in the building.
That's right.
You know, that's how God works. He brought me back. I had to come back and bust a Yui.
Yeah.
But I am Sharice Monique, your favorite confidence coach.
Mm-hmm.
I am here representing the Rebuild Your Life brand.
Mm-hmm.
I am here to shed the light, like you said, on fashion, positivity. That's what I do. Also, I am a serial entrepreneur. I am an author, licensed social worker, coming from the construction field. That's the uniqueness. That's the grit. That's the muscle. That's the muck. And basically, to make a long story short or short story shorter, I'm here to share all those personal experiences with you to get the people going, to get you going.
Fantastic. Give a round of applause for her. And so, so we like to add some of the people to the show. Unfortunately, Lauren Sizzle isn't here today. I think she's a little under the weather. And, classy lady. She's in the building, Lady S. She's busy. She's been pretty busy.
She in the house too.
She in our house with us, And so we talk weekly after the talk on WPPMRP Philadelphia 106.5 FM. We talk weeklies after the talk. And you know how I like to start. We're gonna start with, classy lady. How was your day?
My day was chill.
Okay.
It wasn't bad. I'm glad that the rain stopped. I've been doing a 3-mile jog. Like pretty much every morning, but because of the rain, I haven't been doing it. So now I got I don't know if it's a muscle spasm in my back because I'm getting older. So I got to keep working out. Yeah. But yes, chill today. I'm an empty nester, so I don't really have a lot of a lot of chatter going on in the house no more.
I
So
got you. Okay.
yeah,
No
yeah.
doubt, no doubt. All right. So what about you? How was your day? How was your day?
My Saturday was pretty good. I did the, Sunday morning clean and getting the house fresh and clean.
Mm-hmm.
Turn the music on, open the windows.
Yeah. No doubt.
That's what I did today.
Okay.
Most
Cleaned
kids
house.
know when that's when they hear the music and they smell the pine soil or.
Well, I'm kind of like an empty nester like you, so I have dogs.
Okay, yeah. I think I every time I say I'm gonna get one, it's like a kid to me, and then I'm like, the kids then bought them, and then I give them away.
Listen, if you're not serious, don't do it.
Yeah,
If
I
you're
had
not
dogs
serious,
my
don't do
whole
it.
life,
Don't do it.
but I treat them like my children. That's what the thing. I'm
Well,
just
so then. You understand.
yeah.
It's
Oh,
like-
I've had dogs my entire
Yeah, so
life.
you
Yeah,
know.
so I was like, I don't know if I'm ready to take on another kid.
We be having to find dog sitters.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Yeah. And when my last dog passed away, it felt like a family. It
family
was a family
member.
member. It ain't no felt like
Yeah,
it.
and it's like I don't want to do this no
No,
more.
that's what I said. 15 years I had him max, but yeah. So
That's a long time.
yeah.
Rest in peace,
Time for
Max.
dogs. For
Yeah.
dogs. Yeah, that's a long
Yeah,
15
Cocker
years.
Spaniel. And I mean, when I tell you a smart dog, like smart, you would think it was a pit bull behind that door.
No doubt.
Like,
No doubt.
what's up with you,
What did he
Sid?
do?
Huh?
What did he
Oh,
do?
come on.
He
You
ran
always
up-
try.
No doubt.
What's up with you? How was your day?
Super busy, of course. Preparing for this movie that we're actually going to set that
Oh, that's
my glam squad is actually putting together, and so we're busy for that. The movie starts shooting actually tomorrow, I believe, and so
Nice.
that's going to be a dynamic thing. But work, everything, the show, everything just
Mhm.
take up my time. So you already know what that's about. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, for sure. So we're going to
Stay
jump.
busy.
Yeah,
That's
way
yeah.
too busy, way too busy.
Stay
But that's the
busy.
thing, right? And staying busy. So
I don't
busy
mind as the
good,
devil just
busy,
workshop.
busy good or busy bad? Which you know,
Busy good.
busy good,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. You don't want to be a
Busy good,
hamster.
Yeah, busy good. Yeah.
Yeah.
chasing
Then when
stuff.
you don't got nothing to do,
Yeah.
and you feel like you ain't doing enough.
Yeah,
Right.
But that's the part, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, are you being productive or are you just doing?
No,
Which
that
one is it,
I
right?
don't. You don't want to be nothing busy.
Yeah.
You want to be like thriving busy.
No,
Busy could be gardening.
Yeah, I'm about
Like
that, right?
you know what I'm saying. Like long as you know you living.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
to me is busy.
Well, you've been doing some gardening too, right?
I have.
I know,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Finally,
Okay.
Yeah, I
yeah.
got my cucumbers.
Okay.
I even start growing an aloe plant for facial stuff and for hairspray. Like just yeah.
Let me find out Jody's mom.
Yeah, yeah. Bring me my grandbabies. Joe. That's what I tell myself. Bring me my grandbabies. Don't have them walking all over my flowers.
Right. That's funny. So let's start right there since our guest unfortunately had a little issue kind of getting here, and so as we wait for our next guest, why don't we talk a little bit about let's go into you and how you have been motivating kind of like young girls, people who are kind of challenging, just understanding themselves, and you have been out there pretty much in them streets and doing a good work. What do you start with as it relates to someone who would come to you and they might potentially be feeling down, or they feel like they can't succeed? What do you tell them? What is that process like?
First, we have to identify what the issues are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Identifying what the problem is.
Yeah.
Or it might not necessarily be a problem, but what is your reason for wanting to reach out and get help?
Yeah.
What is it? And then once we identify what the issue is,
Mhm.
and then the next thing is to kind of put together some action steps, some
Right.
realistic action steps.
Mm-hmm.
And we basically just kind of like go from there based off of the action steps.
Yeah.
Break them down into realistic goals and timing and things like that.
Yeah.
And figure out a plan which makes sense, because some people, they come to you with different type of issues. So each action step, each plan, quote unquote treatment plan, isn't going to look the same. You know what I mean? And sometimes it might be a teenager, sometimes it might be an adult.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sometimes it might be, a mother from the daycare who might need some assistance.
Mm-hmm.
So it all depends. But first we got to identify what the problem is.
Right. So let's say, for example, let's jump into some pop culture, right, and some of the things that has been happening in the world today, specifically around this whole
God.
I know, right?
God, where are you going next?
You already know where we're going, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so this big trial has been on everybody's front page, on their timeline and everything. And so what do you tell someone who feels like maybe social media has been too much, right? And they're going through,
yes.
social media overload, the sensory overload, right? Because one of the things I'm tired of hearing about this thing is on everything I've opened up. So what, how do you manage that? What would you tell someone who's like, yo, man, like, they're just depressed over this whole
I
thing?
love that question. That's a good question because that's something that I practice daily.
Yeah.
Because, I have to be on social media because of what I do, whether I like it or not.
Yeah.
And you have to learn how to, for me, first of all, I like to stay even. Like, I'm the type of person, I have the personality where I can't be like up here. Like, I'm not a person who's up here emotionally. I have to stay balanced. I have to feel comfortable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I've been practicing doing there all my life, how to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So when social media became so much of this epidemic and so much of an influence on everybody, I felt that it was important to differentiate what's real, what's not, what's fake, you know what I mean? What's like the sprinkle on top, what's cap, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what I taught the girls in my program, in my girls program. Like, first of all, what you see ain't what you think it is. Like, let's differentiate like reality from, what's fake here. But I just think, as far as like, and like I said, I do this all the time because I feel like this every day. Social media is so freaking loud.
Yeah.
Like, it is so loud. Even before the case, it's just so loud. And if you're a person who was constantly on there, you have to learn how to intentionally. You have to learn how to turn it off.
Yeah.
You have to learn how to turn it off, and emotionally, like, you have to have that emotional intelligence, that discipline for yourself. You know what I mean? To say, okay, enough is enough, or how to disconnect, emotionally disconnect what you're hearing, what you're seeing, because that stuff will go in. You'll be carrying it in your spirit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You'll be carrying it in your spirit. You won't even be on social media anymore, and you'll be feeling some type of way. And you'll be like, why do I feel like this? Because of what you was seeing, what you was looking at, what you was taking in. So we got to do like those cleansings. We have to do like a cleanse
Yeah. And people don't realize
throughout the day,
like you said, when you have it in your spirit, let's just say, okay, you watched whatever, now you got it in your spirit, and then you start cooking. Now you cooking food.
Man, how about that?
You know what I'm saying? You cooking food now that you're about to serve to your family. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Some people be like, I don't know, I don't believe in. Well, it's real. Like, the energy that you're now having, and you're making biscuits, you seasoning up fish, you touching raw fish, you putting that energy in your food that your family is about to like absorb now. So really be mindful of what you digest in your body, in your ears, what you see, all of that. It really is something that opens up different realms. And one thing I did, like with the kids, empty nester now, I got a 30-year-old. So when they were growing up, Instagram, it was MySpace back then. I was like, you're not going to go to sleep with this phone in your hand. You're going to have it where we got family time at the table. You know what I'm saying? It's like, as parents, as guardians, they have to make sure that they're, giving them the structure for as they get older. I mean, but at the end of the day, they still have grown up. Like my 24-year-old, she grown up around this. So it's like, this is like her world, and it's sad, but it's just this generation. I mean, we got a president, and I'm not talking about Trump winning this time, but he was the first one who used social media for his campaign. Like, that's how serious this is. You know,
it's taking over. It's the new...
I see Lady Esther. Lady Esther, when you get here?
I just told you she in the house.
I ain't know that. Well,
that's why when I was like,
you might come sit right
she
here
in the house.
You come sit at the table. I know, right? And so Lady Esther is definitely in the building. She part of the family, so we want to make sure that she get on here and start talking a little bit about, her, how, matter of fact, why don't you go ahead and jump in? Lady Esther is definitely in the building. Why don't you talk about your day? How was your day, Lady Esther? Hold on, let's see about mine. Having a problem with this audio real quick, but when we talk a little bit about what we're talking about right now, is pretty much how, what's going on in the world today, and how they're absorbing all this social media, and what's going on with all the social media, but not just social media. But you know what, Spark, you brought up a excellent point when you talk a little bit about, what energy does and how it kind of goes into certain things, or how potentially as you're in a bad mood, or you hear something, or you get some toxic energy, you start making a plate and you throwing this pepper on it, throwing these seasonings, you're doing all that season stuff, right? And you throwing all the bad stuff. But you know what? I just seen a post where someone was saying, which was interesting, don't put welcome on your doorstep. Because when you put welcome on there, you're welcoming anything.
I was about to say, everybody ain't welcome.
Hey, how about that, right?
This coming from sinners though too. Like,
that's coming. Oh, that's see. I didn't see it.
Yeah,
I didn't see it. Okay.
So
I ain't see. Did you see Sinners?
I did not.
I ain't see.
Yeah.
I ain't see. So maybe.
it's like basically, it's
Mm-hmm.
like even going back to the vampires. Only if you welcome them in, that's the only way that they can have access to, I guess, cause havoc. And it's the same way, like with voodoo, they tell you if you believe in it, it'll hurt you, but if you don't, so you welcoming something in.
Right.
So I mean, it's the same with hello, like they saying it's hell, like, you know what I mean? So
it's like, why you saying hello? Yeah, no doubt. Yeah.
Grand rising queen.
They say like good morning. Why you saying morning?
Right,
You're not supposed to say good morning because you're morning. I mean, like,
So it's all in what you believe in.
There you go. That point, right? Yeah,
absolutely.
So how was your day, Lady S. Doc?
My day was good. I'm multitasking.
Yeah. Pull that mic down.
There you go. Yeah, I'm trying to get around my bun too.
Yeah.
I'm multitasking, got a couple things going on. So today was very, what do you say? Who do you call them days? Mental, strenuous. Strenuous. Yeah. Like even though I watch people that's like lugging things and carrying things, I'm like physically they're probably tired. But I'll just step away from my computer and be like, whew. It's like a mental thing. I'm like, why am I? My brain is tired, but physically, I ain't did nothing.
No doubt.
And that's possible too.
That's right. Yeah. So,
but I'm all good. I'm happy. I'm here with y'all.
No doubt. As you know, we talk weeklies after the talk of WPPMLP Philadelphia 106.5 FM. We talk weeklies after the talk. I think I'm ready to go into. You want to go into good news and bad news?
I'm ready.
All right, we're gonna get news and bad news. You sure?
All right, yeah, I'm ready.
We got good news and bad news.
No, we don't have no good news. I ain't even gonna hold you. I ain't even gonna hold you. All right. Well, I don't know. Newark Mayor Ras Baraka was arrested.
Oh, God.
Yeah, he was released after being detained for several hours Friday. He was arrested at a protest at the new federal immigration detention center. Now, this is the Newark mayor, y'all. He was at the detention center in Delaney Hall. Baraka was charged with trespassing after allegedly refusing to leave the property. But video shows that the mayor was standing on the public side of the gate when he was taken into custody. For those who don't know, Philly, Jersey, they right there in each other. Mayor Ras Baraka is running for governor of New Jersey. So this is like a big thing for him to get arrested from ICE, and he's a Democrat. So he was stepping out of his SUV with flashing lights after his relief, and he said, "I didn't do anything wrong." While he couldn't speak on the case directly, he stressed, all of us here, no matter what our background is, where you come from, we have to stop these people from causing division between us. Baraka, a Democrat running to succeed Governor Phil Murphy, was outspoken opponent of the detention center. It was run by the private prison GEO group. His wife, Linda Baraka, accused the federal agents of targeting him, saying they didn't arrest anyone else and they wanted to make an example out of the mayor. ICE, who arrested him, claimed that the protesters, including the New Jersey Congress members, tried to storm the gate. But Representative Bonnie Watson fired back, saying, "We did not storm the detention center. We were exercising our legal oversight." New Jersey's Attorney General and immigrant rights group have condemned the arrest, while GEO projects of the prison facility could still continue to earn over $60 million a year. So do you think they arrested him based on trespassing, or because they were kind of like silencing protesting? Silent protesting. What y'all think?
Yeah.
It sounds like what's been already happening in the world with our people. It sounds like it was a setup. It was, ulterior motives, like a silence to the protest. Yeah. Trying to make them an example.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, is that good news? Bad news? What y'all think?
That ain't good news.
I don't know. Like, I mean, like I said, he running for governor, and these politicians, like, if you get any kind of news, it's like it kind of help. I don't
Like
know.
all publicity is like that. All
Yeah.
publicity is good publicity.
Something.
That type thing.
Yeah. So that's why I was like, I don't know about that one. But this story right here, this is not good. Philadelphia's 2023 HIV surveillance reports highlights both progress and challenges in the city's fight against HIV.
Hold on, this is where? This is
Philadelphia. Yes,
Okay,
HIV
okay.
stats for
Okay.
Philly.
Okay.
There's something viral going on. Viral, no pun intended. That's like a double entendre.
Yeah. Finish your sentence before I jumped on it.
Yeah, I was like, I mean, and I don't even know why I'm laughing. Like, that ain't even funny, but it's something viral on Instagram that's saying that the teenagers in Philadelphia, the HIV has gone like crazy high.
Oh my goodness.
Crazy
Wow.
high. So, however, I got facts for you. So again, that's Instagram, but here's some facts that I found out. All right. The city is participating in the federal Ending the HIV Epidemic initiative. So it aims to reduce new diagnoses by 90% by the year 2030. So it has a 75 reduction rate targeted by 2025. So new diagnoses have decreased just slightly, with 378 new cases reported by June of 2024. So that's down from 391 in 2022, but they're still short of the goal. So it's still there. But access to care remains the challenge, with marginalized groups, especially the non-Hispanic Black men who have sex with men, facing the highest rates of new diagnosis. So that's still within that LGBTQ community. And they missed opportunities for early testing. Effects to increase HIV awareness and improve care, including the expansion of a low threshold testing and PrEP access. So for those who may not know, PrEP is basically, I believe, something you can take in order to almost like fight off the antibodies from HIV. And then again, we're talking strictly HIV because HIV is the precursor to AIDS. So 74% of the people living with HIV are now in viral suppression. This is a step towards reducing transmission. So the city of Philadelphia has a goal of reaching 95% awareness of HIV status by 2025, with an estimated 1,586 Philadelphians unaware of their HIV status.
I believe that.
How do they get those stats though, if they're unaware?
Who gets that?
How, like, if they have that 95% of awareness of HIV status by 2025, with an estimated 1,586 Philadelphians that are unaware of their HIV status.
Process of elimination.
Oh, you mean yeah?
I said process of elimination.
I mean, they didn't get tested.
Right. I'm sure they have a number of how many people are in the city,
right,
and then how many tests they've done.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're probably like, there's a whole lot of people out here still
like Division of Social Services.
Yeah, they need to come get tested.
So like a census type of thing.
Probably, yeah.
So this report underscores the need to remove barriers to care, especially for the underserved populations like the transgender individuals and people who inject drugs. The Philly Safe campaign is one initiative aiming to address these disparities. Y'all can get more information about this at the www.phila.gov/Department Office of Safe Neighborhoods. All that information's on there.
Interesting. I would also say go to Philly Keep on Loving also. So a lot of pre-exposure prophylaxis. So a lot of this has a lot to do with the people that's out there on them streets that's doing the work, that's testing and giving statistics to the city, because they have to report like it's DIS, right? And so they go out and test people and get certain information to make sure that the city knows. So I would say definitely look out to Philly Keep on Loving. That's one. Take Control Philly, especially specifically for the youth. And so when we talk about fighting this pandemic, this epidemic, on making sure that people are being sexually safe. That's a very important thing.
Protection,
yeah. Getting protection, understanding. Like, some people don't even know what PrEP is.
What is it?
So it's kind of like, it's called pre, right? So it's a pill that potentially you can take to make sure that you don't get certain things
From the
specifically from
antibiotics.
yes, right. And
Okay.
so I would say just to get all the information, go to Philly Keep On Loving. I
Mhm.
believe it's .org. Philly Keep, just Google Philly Keep On Loving, or go to takecontrolphilly.org specifically for youth. And I think they're doing an excellent job with making sure that youth are covered and being protected because they get free condoms. Right. So they go into the schools and do all of the work to make sure that the schools know all that information so the kids can be safe. And so that's very important because we are talking about the youth at this point.
Right.
We're talking about kids and the statistics.
And also get tested. Partners can get tested. Like, hey, let's go get tested before we do something, right? Like that's another way. Abstinence is another way, I guess. And then like being tested. But I think also people have to understand the different ways you can get AIDS. It's sexual body fluids and stuff. Now y'all have to tell me about this part because I don't want to misspeak, but is oral sex considered? Like, can you transmission
Absolutely.
or transmit?
100%. 100%. And like I said, that's what PrEP will allow. Well, we talk about specifically with HIV, right? And so you definitely, like, when people say, oh, she only, you know what I mean, like just, you know what I mean? No, like, yo, it's people who have contracted like certain diseases orally, right? And so they have blisters on their mouth, their tongue, their throats. Like, this thing is real. So you have to make sure like you really taking care of yourself. And so just get the information. I think most people don't understand fully what a lot of this stuff is, and especially if you feel that you are at risk, and understand if you're having sex unprotected, you're at risk, period. It's no like, because guys, we had this thing where we felt like if she looked nice, maybe she ain't, she look good, she look too good then,
Listen, it ain't just y'all. Some of y'all look nice too.
You know what I'm saying? And so
Right.
Some of y'all look real nice.
It's like, looking at the guys too to be like, So, all right. So was that good news or bad news? See what I'm saying? Like,
I think that.
All right, let's give Sparkle some examples of good news.
No, I'm saying it's informational. It's still,
you gotta turn it.
Exactly. So we gave information, we gave good stats, we gave, so that's good.
You gotta turn the negatives into positives.
Yeah, I mean, it's still something that should be covered.
I was about to say, she got to add in you today.
That's my girl. That's right. That's right.
I need you to know about the day.
I know, right?
She be like, oh, we got good news and bad news. And she tell us 2 stories about somebody dying. We be like, Spark, that neither one of them was good.
Yeah, and that ain't good news. Good news.
That's what she do to us usually.
Good news is rainbows, flowers. Somebody,
Listen, if we highlight Philadelphia Philly, what Trump say?
What bad things
I ain't got no good. I don't got no good news.
No good news.
All right,
but see, good news is the Eagles won the Super Bowl.
Wait a minute. What about the plantation house in Louisiana?
Yes, we can talk about that.
How about that?
Yes, yeah. But like,
that's good news.
Yeah,
I think that was the last one too.
Yeah,
that's the last major plantation where we know or understood that our people, right?
Yes,
was there, and that somebody, the creator, said, you know what? It's time to get that thing off.
Versus telling us 95% of Philly don't know their status. So now we just out here.
We just out here.
I don't know if that's good to know.
we out here just slinging.
Wait, I'm sorry. It's good news to know. But it's not
there you go.
Good to know. Good to know.
Now, I wasn't even going to do this story about the Louisiana because I did hear it and I should have, but we might as well talk about it and add it to the good news. All right.
There we go.
All right. So so the plantation that is in White Castle, Louisiana. It was built in like 1859 by enslaved labor, and it was for a sugar magnate, John Hamden Randolph. It was 53,000 square feet. Give me an example of 53,000 square feet.
I can't think of
53,000.
Is that's like
53,000?
Yeah,
that's
square
big.
foot
Wow.
estate. It had like 64 rooms, a 3-story rotunda. Like,
how big is the White House?
Yeah, I'm always comparing stuff to football fields.
Yeah, that's major. Yep. Well, it was the mansion was repurposed as a resort and an event venue, serving like a site for reflection and education about the region's history. But somebody was like, "This show, what's that song from back in the day about burning mm, 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 the
Oh,
burn,
the,
yeah,
roof.
the roof, the roof is on
yeah.
fire."
The anniversary
We
of that
don't
was
need
just
no
last
more
week.
than let this.
That's what they need to be singing for this one.
Mhm.
So
They got them old
Yeah.
spirituals going on in the background right now.
yeah,
Mm.
Set my people
yes.
free.
Yep. And if we talking about energy, we can see if you got that spiritual eye, how many did you see walking around the land that was like probably freeing themselves from that? So
Well, I know it was
Yeah.
definitely chilling. It was definitely when you see it, it's definitely like
yeah.
sends chills through your body.
Yeah. So it was arson. Someone did allegedly burn the plantation down. And good riddance for it.
Wow.
Yeah. So all right. Well, I got one more story.
A round of
'cause-
applause for that. I'm
Yeah.
looking at an example of what 53,000 square feet is, and literally that's the size of a extended warehouse, right? I mean, they got this is 53,000 square feet, and they're showing pretty much a complete gym,
Mm,
this play gym, ninja courses, like everything. That's 53,000 square feet. So when you think of how big
Mm.
that is, and that's just the house, that's not the land,
mm.
is it? I'm asking.
Mhm.
That's just the house.
That's
That's
just
just
the
the
house.
yeah.
That's
Just
just
not
the-
the land.
Okay,
Wow.
so we're talking about
Because
jeez.
it held 64 rooms, I believe.
Yeah, that's
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 crazy.
that's huge. So we didn't even
That's
get
crazy.
to the surrounding land where they probably had, our ancestors planting and pulling and all that.
Yep.
Over stuff.
Mhm.
So that ain't wow. That's crazy. Okay,
Yeah.
all right, I see that. Mhm.
Okay.
Well,
That
give
was
a
good
round of
news.
applause for that burning down like that. Yeah,
Mhm,
absolutely.
mhm. We got some good. Thanks for the good
There you
news.
go. Yeah. That's good news.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
good,
All right.
good.
The last one is educational. This is for the election coming up. So the primary election is approaching. We got to do our civic duty by letting you guys know.
That's right.
Pennsylvania voters are heading to the polls on May 20th. Now, the deadline has already came for the registration by mail and all of that. So now only the 20th you can vote. So there are also 3 important ballot questions.
Just say yes.
Pennsylvania holds a
That's all
closed
I said.
primary. So here's the information on that. You can only vote for candidates in the party you're registered with.
yeah.
But the party affiliation doesn't affect the ballot questions.
Right.
So you know about that.
Yeah. So for those who don't understand that, so if you're a Democrat, you have to vote Democratic. If you're a Republican, you have to vote Republican. Unfortunately, if you part of the Green Party, Independent, if nobody is running, you can't vote. So Pennsylvania is a closed primary. It's closed primary, which means that you can only vote for your party.
So what do you tell the rebels that go in there and like, nah, I'm a Democrat, but I want to put that Republican, or I'm a Republican, I want to hit that Democrat button.
It probably won't count. I don't know what happens, but it
Oh,
probably won't count.
okay.
But I know potentially you can still vote on the questions. I think
Mhm.
that's no party. So if you independent, you can still vote for the questions.
Right.
I believe that, y'all might want to do your research because I don't like to misspeak.
Okay.
But I believe that that's the
So,
case.
like I said, May 5th was the last day to register. May 13th was the final day.
Wait, that's 3 days.
Yes.
It's in 3 days,
Yes.
ladies
May
and
20th.
May
Jeez.
20th.
May
Yeah. So people who was talking about the May 5th to register, y'all missed it.
Yeah.
May 13th was the final day to apply for
Wow.
mail-in absentee ballot. Y'all missed it. So the
Wow.
20th, the polls will be open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Now,
Wow.
here's something that I learned from We Talk Weekly from our guests.
That's right.
If you are in line and it's 8 o'clock, you can
still
remain
vote,
in
yep.
line. So you could be seen up until 9 o'clock, depending on how long that line is.
That's
But
right.
as long as you was in that line by 8 o'clock, you can still go ahead and vote.
That's right. That's
so,
right.
so,
So don't get out the line.
don't get out the line, right? And then to vote, make sure you're registered and bringing your ID for your first time voters at the polling place. So in Philadelphia, currently district attorney who current district DA attorney Larry Krasner
Yeah.
was here doing an exclusive interview with We Talk Weekly. He faces former Judge Patrick Dugan Krasner, who's known for his progressive criminal justice reforms, seeks to maintain his position, and Dugan, who served as a municipal court judge, promises harsher penalties for violent offenders while offering second chances to low-level offenders. So do your homework on both candidates and make sure you're informed and ready to vote.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So make sure you do your civic duty.
So y'all got a whole
and
election
vote.
going on in
Yeah.
And what are the seats?
It's the judges for the Superior and Commonwealth courts, the common pleas and municipal courts, and the judges and the DA.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Go Philly.
Yeah.
And listen, ladies
Get
and
out and
gentlemen,
vote.
it's very listen. These are the judges,
Yeah.
right?
Sure.
People, I could care less about the presidency,
Yeah.
but it's the judges that affects us directly. You know what I'm talking about. So shout out to all my brothers that's up there.
Crazy.
It is
like,
crazy.
How you gonna make sure that you put more of your energy into the presidential election, which I kind of get. I'm not saying that there's no pros to it, but the pros to your state and local judges who make family. I said the common pleas court, your family decisions, your school decisions, your money decisions, your wages, like everything, and nobody even be knowing that this judging is going on, like this voting is going on, this special voting.
Right.
That's
Not
crazy.
even aware of it.
That's why.
And they need to be, because that's the ones that affect us
Directly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Everybody is focused on the
city council and the presidency.
And the presidency, because I feel like because of popularity is the most
Mhm.
popular, the bigger ones. But they like they say, take care of home first, right?
Mhm.
So they need to do that, because when families start having issues and
Right.
your son got locked up and this one over here and did this, and now you sitting in somebody's courtroom,
Yeah.
and you don't yell about the president at that point,
Yeah.
because you're going
Yeah.
many steps beyond.
I mean, anything that's domestic, family, anything that goes like with arrest or law legislation has to go in front of a judge. So that's like so major to me. It's so major.
And all that paper, all that mail we get to come to our house with the city of Philadelphia on it.
People throw it in trash and be
but that's all of the things though.
Yeah.
That's where all of the decisions are made first.
So y'all get to vote your judges in?
Yes.
Think about it. Y'all get to vote the judges in?
Yes.
We don't do that in Delaware.
So they're appointed?
I believe they're appointed.
All
we
of them
don't
are
have
appointed?
we don't have no election for judges.
No, I mean, there's some judges that are appointed, but for these judges right now, we're electing them. Right? We're saying like, yo, I'm exercising my civic duty. I'm going to vote because I know what this judge is. Now, we don't tell you who to vote for, right? But we will say, do your due diligence and vote for policy that affects you specifically, right? So if you say, for example, I mean, if you're a Republican and you want to see, us locked up in certain cities, in certain inner cities, then I guess vote for you. But if you look like me and you in these cities and you tired of us getting locked up for nothing, and they don't want to listen to you, they want to, give you mandatory minimums and all of this stuff. I mean, you might want to consider that these ain't the judges that we want to vote for our community, right? And so we're nonpartisan here on a show. So we invite any conversation, babe, whether you're a Republican or Democrat, right? But what I will say is that things that our audience, you want to vote for the things that affect you directly for your community, right? And so if you miss Lil Day, right, and they ain't really do nothing, it was just a stop and frisk, and judges that are really hard on certain things, you might want to think about and do your research on that particular judge, right? And so that's what's so important. Like, I just appreciate the process of going through what I like, what I don't like, what's good, what's not, staying informed. Right. And so I always say, look, it don't matter who you vote for. Just make sure that you vote, because this is something that you're going to do and you operate through your agency. Don't let anyone take that away from you. Yeah.
And pretty much it's with the judges. How many judges have we had here that have visited? We had about 6. I think it's 11 that are running and 9 that can fill the seat, if I'm not mistaken. So 11 are running, but 9 can run. 11 are running, and then 9 can
9
get
seats, yeah.
9 seats that they can fill. Again, it's the district attorney, the city controller, and judges for the superior and commonwealth courts, along with the common pleas and municipal courts. So that's major.
Yeah.
That's so major. I mean, I don't know another way to stress how major that is.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So, but that was your good news and your bad news from Classy Lady Sparkle.
That's your good news or bad news from Classy Lady Sparkle. It's your boy Charles Gregg with the beautiful
Classy Lady Sparkle.
and the beautiful
Lady Esther.
and the beautiful.
Sharice Monique.
And we're here. I don't want you guys to go anywhere. When we come back, we got. Let me see, Lady Esther. You got something for us?
I just got a couple things.
You got a couple things?
Just not much.
Not much. Just a couple things. All right. So let's go to one of my favorites. We'll
Oh,
be right
no.
back, y'all.
We just want to get a little background as to who the Fantastic Noise is and the noisemakers. If you can let us know.
Yes, absolutely. So once again, I am Fantastic Noise. I am the original noisemaker, so no one's going to make as much noise as me, okay? And right here we have the Noisemaker Band. This is only half of it. The other stuffs are upstairs. My Kevin Lamar, Lonnie, and Dobbs, who are the actual band members. These are the background singers. And we came to make some noise. We came to bring that noise today. That's what we try to do. That's it.
Right.
Yeah.
And how did you guys get together?
Oh man, so it started with I've been doing this on my own for almost 3 years now. And man, I guess each of these people here have different background stories. Most of us went to the same church together, and we just kept going. This one, her here, this is one of my assistants here. One of like my biggest supporter, my biggest shooter here. She's an assistant. So we just been building, and the same thing with upstairs with the band. Just meeting through people, kept networking, kept seeing, and it was just like God ordained. Bam, here we are.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, could you guys do We Talk Weekly a favor?
Yes.
Can you give us a drop in a melody type way?
Oh, a melody type way?
Yes.
Okay. So we talk weekly?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to do something like this. We talk weekly, come and hear us. We talk weekly, come and hear them. 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 We talk weekly, come and hear them.
Okay, get beautified because y'all already gorgeous.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Man, we have a dynamic show today, man. It was just.
Why is that so loud? That commercial.
You hate that commercial.
I don't like the loud part. I just don't. I love them Fantastic,
I'm
but
gonna have to edit that.
yeah,
I'm
I'm
gonna
like,
have to
I
edit
know
that.
I'm loud, but that's just showing it, like for real.
That's what Lauren said. Lauren said, edit that. Just edit
Yeah.
that.
No,
I
that
gotta
was
edit.
Face. That was
That
Lady
was- that
Esther.
was-
She was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
why that guy is so loud?
What? Something just happened.
It was me. I
Oh.
was loud.
No.
What that buzzing sound?
That's funny.
Sparks free for that.
No doubt.
Mhm.
All right, Lady Esther, holla at me. What we got? Holla at me.
Y'all know I just like to keep y'all updated on what's happening in the city. Last week I gave y'all a ton of what's going on here in May, so I don't want to be redundant and recap that. Y'all can check out the other show. But Spark jumped on me and was like, "What about the concert? This who's coming? What's happening?" So I needed to give y'all some music energy today. So concerts that will be here over the next couple weeks. You asked about Mary, but you missed Mary. I told you Mary was last month.
Oh yeah, she looked tired. I seen it. She was done.
She was in April. Mary J. Blige was here. April.
Oh yeah, she was like, I ain't do it.
Listen,
Y'all sing.
y'all think you know when they get to that age, they just point the mic to the audience,
Yeah.
like help a sister out.
That was crazy.
But on the 23rd and 25th, Metallica is going to be here at the Lincoln Financial Center. Post Malone and Jelly Roll at Citizens Bank Park. They do a lot of outside concerts using our stadiums here, which is usually fun, but navigating it is usually kind of messy if you're in attendance. And then you know, subjected to rain. But that's Saturday, May 24th. And then we have Luke Bryan. A lot of people have become bigger fans of his since he's been on American Idol. But he'll be here on Friday, June 6th. Little Baby will be at Wells Fargo.
Little baby,
Little Baby's coming. June
What day is
19th,
that? June 19th.
Thursday, June 19th.
Mhm.
And are you guys Cynthia Erivo fans?
No, I'm not.
Who is she?
That's from
Oh,
Wicked. Ain't that the one
yeah.
from Wicked?
I
Yeah.
like
So,
her.
yes, with the, I'm not even gonna attempt to do.
She from Britain or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she's been doing more acting though, but she's gonna be at the Man Music Center on
I
Sunday,
wouldn't pay
June
to
8th.
see her, but I like
I know.
her.
I was surprised that she was coming. I was like, maybe
Yeah.
some people like her.
Yeah, I like
Maybe
her.
they do.
Mm.
And of course, the Roots Picnic, May 31st through June 1st, and that lineup keeps changing. But who are officially locked in are D'Angelo, Lenny Kravitz, Meek Mill,
D'Angelo?
D'Angelo.
Okay.
Mm.
And this is for Roots Picnic.
Yeah,
We supposed to be there.
I know.
We supposed to be there.
Mhm.
We ain't get our press stuff yet, but they better hurry up and give it to us.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's the weekend. That 3-day weekend is always
Yeah,
crazy.
it's long.
Yeah.
So, Glorilla, Miguel.
I like Glorilla.
I like
Yeah.
Miguel. Where Miguel been?
Miguel,
I
yeah.
know.
He's like the modern prince to me.
Well, when I seen some of these names, I was like, where most of these
Mhm.
people, where they been?
Yeah.
Like y'all, last year was the big 50th
Yeah.
anniversary of hip hop, so they had to do that. Now they circle back to some other ones here.
Mhm.
So it's like a mix.
Mhm.
Tim's, Lotto,
Tim's.
I like Tim's.
Tim's. Yeah,
Tim's is one of
yeah.
my favorites. Yeah.
Kai Trinata,
Wow.
Jeezy.
Mm.
That's a snowman.
When I hear y'all responses, I know what
Yeah.
they
I mean,
I like Jesus.
I guess they throwing some old and new in there.
That's what I
Yeah.
said when I was like, yeah, because I was like D'Angelo,
Yeah. Has he ever spoke out on Angel Stone? I never
I
seen him
don't-
speak out on that.
He probably
haven't
wanna
seen
leave that
him
alone.
Yeah.
speak out, say anything.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
If we get the exclusive, I'm gonna ask him.
Oh yeah.
I will.
Well, they doing J Period live mixtape featuring Black Thought, 2 Chainz, and Pusha T.
Now that's Black Thought. Yeah, give it.
When
Yeah.
Black Thought did his mixtape live last year, it was pretty dope.
Yeah.
And he had everybody come out. Even he was a surprise.
Yeah.
Music Soul Child. There you go.
Okay,
He'll be
yeah,
celebrating
yeah.
his 25th anniversary of
I like
yeah,
music. Yeah.
his first album. The Roots celebrating their 30th anniversary
Mm-hmm.
of their album.
30, huh?
30.
30.
Yeah.
I remember they
Do
came
You
up to
Want
King
More?
and did they
Mhm.
one of their first
30
videos when we was up there.
Yeah.
Because I was my Jamal, the keyboard guy. He and I went to school together. So that's
man.
what's up. Okay.
Adam Blackstone featuring Jagged Edge and Total.
Mhm.
I'm hyped about
Mhm,
JE,
mhm.
y'all.
I like. I like Jagged Edge.
You do not ever do
Y'all-
that. If you
At the Roots, I'm still
Oh,
on
that's
this
Jagged
cool.
one.
Edge total.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
I'm
wait,
still on
all-
the Roots Picnic lineup. All these people I'm saying.
but
it's so
totaled
many-
all 3 of them or just 2?
Yes. No.
Because one of them, she don't be. Yeah.
don't
You
say
heard
it
about
all the
that?
time.
Well,
Yeah.
we going to hope that she's there. We're
I
not
don't
going to
know.
talk
Mm-mm.
about it. You know what I mean?
She's into the Lord.
All right,
She ain't there.
leave her alone.
Okay.
We
No,
told her.
I
Leave her
okay.
alone. Leave her alone.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
That's
the same
total.
thing happened with Salt and Pepper, but I heard they
Yeah.
about to be somewhere.
Oh yeah.
Okay, yes.
Um,
Yeah.
'cause
and
Salt
They
is-
made up. Spin gonna be with them.
I don't think
Oh,
Cinderella
sad.
gonna be. You know, it was always separate. It was like Salt, Pepper, and Cinderella. Now you just
Yeah,
hearing Salt,
okay.
Pepper.
All
But
right.
remember, Salt
And
was very
Pepper, yeah.
holier than thou, and
Yes,
she
she
didn't
was.
want to do
Yeah.
the song music anymore.
Mhm.
So
Yep,
Pepper was
yep.
upset because they were still getting called for
Yes.
shows, and Salt was like,
Right.
"Nah, I ain't saying that no more. I
Yeah.
ain't doing it no more."
Yeah.
But they were
Them
just
pockets
inducted
ain't-
into the Hall of
Yeah.
Fame.
Yeah.
They got
So-
a star, right?
Yeah.
They got a star. Didn't
No, they were inducted to the Hall of Fame.
Hall of
Hip Hop
Fame.
Hall of Fame.
No, the Rock and Roll Hall
Rock
of
and
Fame.
Whoa,
Yeah.
wow, you're right.
And you got to check for that,
Yes.
don't
Okay. They
you?
were
Yeah.
just inducted into that
Okay.
Rock and Roll
Yeah.
Hall of Fame.
Yeah, you
that's
said-
dope. Yeah.
So yeah,
That's great.
them and Outkast.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I could
yeah,
have
that was pretty
swore
cool.
I saw them get a star though.
They probably
They
got a
probably
star on
did.
the Hollywood Walk.
Yeah. I'm
Also.
quite sure. If you make it into the Rock and Hall of Fame, you the stars
probably.
Yeah. That comes first, and then
Yeah.
then the induction.
Yeah,
so.
the induction.
Yes,
'Cause
sir.
it,
Yeah, they got a star.
yeah, they got
I
a
wonder
star.
though. I think you do get a check when you're in the Hall of Fame,
Hall of
like
Fame?
residual.
Really?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, they got a star.
Yeah. So
Like every month, like what, once a year or something.
I don't know. I'm about to check though. I'm about to
Share-
research that.
Let me share my girls, man.
Ah.
They deserve some. Let me see if I can.
I gotta bring my laptop so I can fact check with y'all.
Yes,
phone that's like a fact
absolutely.
check.
Yes.
There you go, right there. Let's give a round of applause for Salt and Pepper with a star.
They got a star.
I got a
Okay.
star, right? 3 stars.
Got
There
a
you go. I
star.
love that. Yeah, I love that. No
Yes.
We're gonna be all salt and pepper, y'all. We're going push it. Real good.
All right, so
Herbie Love Bug.
Herbie Love Bug. So where I left off, okay, yeah, Anna Blackstone, Jagged Edge. So I'm more for Jagged Edge. Backyard Band featuring CeeLo Green, Crystal CeeLo.
Yo, you know he came out and said that Goody Mob been getting back together. That was
wow.
that hurt a little bit. I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
come on, CeeLo, what you doing?
Yeah, that will hurt.
Oh, I found out. No, they don't get a check. They don't get a monetary payment. It's purely symbolic and just recognizes their influence and contributions.
Well, it upstairs stopped though. They can just say like now, you know,
Mhm.
yesterday's price ain't today's price.
That part, yeah.
That-
So
yeah.
that solidifies. It's almost
Okay.
like a certification, I guess. Like,
Yeah, like you said
Yeah.
before.
right. Okay.
Crystal Waters and CeCe Peniston. CeCe Peniston, I haven't heard that.
Oh, I
her name.
love her.
I haven't heard that name in a long
Wait,
time.
Crystal Waters.
Crystal, I know you hear these names.
Yeah,
These
this
These
is
throwback
like,
names.
oh my
Crystal
god.
Waters.
Da da dee da dee da.
Oh, that's her?
da,
And
dee.
CeCe Peniston.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Oh wow. Oh, okay. This is gonna be great.
This is a different type of diverse lineup.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
it's
think
gonna have
CeCe
all
Peniston
genres out
was
there.
my first crush at like 3.
Oh.
I'm like,
What?
3.
she was like my first crush.
CeCe
I
Peniston.
don't think she that old though.
Who did she
I love CeCe Peniston.
she was with
She was.
did
There
a
was like
song
house
with-
music
she did
too.
a song with somebody. I can't remember, man. But it'll come out with me. I gotta look her up. Yeah.
Alright. So Cure or Kerr, how you say it?
Kerr.
Kerr.
I don't know who that is.
That's the rapper. He's from Philly, right?
Yeah, he's
Kerr?
a rapper.
From Philly.
Kerr.
He's like a younger rapper, I believe.
Okay.
Like he's a little younger generation.
Mhm.
Elmini,
Mm.
Lay Banks, Jermaine Dolly, Layla, Funk Flex, Diamond Cuts, DJ Active,
Okay.
Shout out to
Henson,
DJ Active
Layla.
and Diamond Cut.
Yeah.
Neptune. Yeah.
If you say anybody from Philly, I'm with you.
Mhm.
Like, see, that's the thing. Philly got to support Philly. I support Philly. I don't care. Well, you from Philly, you doing some shout out to you.
Well, shout out to Diamond Cut. She was down
That's right,
Delaware
shout
last
out.
night.
Okay,
that's
shout out
what's
to
up.
Diamond Cut. Give a
Yeah.
round of applause for Diamond Cut
Shout out
going to
Diamond Cut.
Delaware.
She was down Delaware last night.
So they're also gonna be doing some day parties. Y'all don't know y'all how familiar y'all with day parties be showing up there, but they doing trap karaoke. DJ Active presents Chill Vibes featuring Raheem Devon.
Okay.
Oh,
I style
like
Raheem
it,
Devon.
Yeah.
Yeah, doo wop, that R&B party. Girls Love Karaoke, Dear Summer Festival, Kirk Franklin Sunday School with DJ Malski, The Remedy featuring Rich Medina and
Shout
Cosmo
out to Rich
Baker.
Medina in the
Medina.
building. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Snack Time, All You Can Sing, Philly Black Pride, International Bounce, Allspice World, and World Series of Speed. So this is all the day party stuff that they're going to be doing.
Okay.
Oh shucks. I couldn't make it to the night party if I
Busy, I know.
I know, and then they
It's a
got
lot
their
going
regular
on.
their annual
Yeah.
the Roots inaugural food festival. So that's going to be filled with everything and everybody food. Taste, just go taste your way through it all. It's
Mhm.
going to be.
It sounds like a time.
It
Yeah.
sounds like a time,
But
right?
you are good giving out the information. Yes, Doc. I mean,
so much. You get so much. I was like, oh, we gotta
Yeah.
get back over here to this music thing. So, and since we've been tapping on the Hall of Fame, I did want y'all to know that 2025
Mhm.
inductees were Bad Company, Chubby Checker, Joe.
Chubby Checker. Shout out to ain't
Chubby
Chubby Checker
Checker.
from Philly.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, and I
y'all should
actually-
know it. You know,
I
y'all.
don't know if I'm
Well,
not sure if he's from
you
Philly, but
asking, so you don't know either.
Yeah, but I'm asking because
you
I'm
know what's
not.
crazy? I actually work with his grandson.
Chubby
See,
Checker?
He's
yeah,
from Philly.
see,
Yeah, I think he.
I'm just all
I know
Philly.
he
That's
has
why I'm
Philly
asking.
ties.
I am from Philly.
Yeah.
Chubby Checker.
Yeah, I think he is from Philly. Can somebody do a fact check?
Yeah, I'll do it real quick.
Yeah,
We gonna go
yeah.
back.
I think he went to school with what, like my aunt or something. You know, Philly's small but big. Like,
yeah.
so. Yeah, I think he is. That's like asking, is Frankie Beverly and Maze?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, is he from Philly?
But this was the performer category anyway. Joe Cocker, Cyndi Lauper. I was a Cyndi Lauper fan when I was a kid. Outkast, Soundgarden, and the White Stripes. And then the musical influence awards went to Warren Zevon and Salt and Pepper.
Okay.
Mhm.
Cyndi Lauper's like the first.
That was my.
She was like
girl.
the first. What's her
Yeah.
name? Madonna.
Mhm.
To me,
You know, it was like Nicki
Cyndi-
Minaj and Lil
yeah,
Kim.
she wasn't
Yeah.
as risque, but
Yeah.
Cyndi Lauper, I don't know what it was. It when that whole '80s punk era thing was going on,
Mhm.
because I remember I used to always want to
Right.
Halloween parties and stuff. I always wanted to dress up like her.
I did. I was like Punky
was Cyndi
Brewster.
Lauper, yeah, that was
I was like wrapping every color around me.
I know.
And I did find out he was born in South Carolina, but he grew up in Philadelphia.
Okay.
So
Like
yeah.
Will Stubborn, Will
Now
Stubborn
let's
kinda.
do the twist. Yeah.
Look, here you go. Yeah, he's from Philly. He said it said Chubby
Okay.
Checker was born in Spring Gully, also spelled Spring Gully,
Mhm.
South Carolina.
Mhm.
Although he was born in South Carolina, he was raised in South Philly.
Yeah.
Pennsylvania,
Yeah.
where
Teddy
he attended
Pendergrass
South Philadelphia. He went to South Philly High.
See,
There you go.
you talking about, was he from Philly?
Damn, that's
Yeah.
great. I didn't even know. Shout out to Chubby Checker, South Philly High.
Yeah.
Shout out to Chubby. Okay, no doubt, no doubt.
Mhm,
All right,
mhm,
yeah.
mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
So
Uh-huh.
that was what was that? The award? What was that? Yeah, he was under the performer category
Mhm.
for the
what's up.
inductees.
He's still living?
Did he?
I don't think
It
he's
didn't
still
say
I
from
don't
from. Yeah, he looked like he's still alive. I can find that out.
That's what I
Don't give me a
thought.
second here. Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, he would be like in his late 80s. That's wonderful. It's just like, well, why so long? Wait, why they wait so long? Like he's being inducted, you said?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Dang,
Well,
all
I
this
mean,
time?
It says
Well,
Chubby Checker is still alive as 2025 at 83 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody give him his flowers.
Yeah.
give him
I'm
All
glad
right, I'll
they
give him his
now
flowers
giving it
right
to him,
there.
but he been
It
deserved
says
that.
he alive. Recent coverage confirms he is alive and well, still making music and still performing.
Oh,
I don't know
wow.
about
Back
that.
at 83 and was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2025.
Yep.
He said, I ain't letting Uncle Ron.
Uncle Ron out there.
Yeah.
Don't say what my Uncle Ron.
Uncle Ron had to get a seat. Did
That's
y'all
funny.
see that? Like when he was doing his
Uncle
performance?
Ron. No.
Ron Osley. Yeah.
Yes, I got two uncles in the industry. Uncle Ron, Uncle Sam.
Well, hold up.
Mhm.
Ron Osley was what?
I call Ron Osley Uncle Ron.
Yeah.
Hold on.
He's still performing.
Yeah.
he's still
He's
performing.
sitting down.
Oh, he's sitting down.
Him
before-
and what's the other one? What I seen him, but he's good. Oh gosh,
Who you
it'll
talking
come
about?
back to me. It's gonna come
And they
back
sit
to
down
me.
and perform.
Yeah, they do a little bit, then they get the chair. Yeah,
That's
That's
gonna
all
be
right.
married next.
That's all right. That's
Yeah.
Mr. Big. Leave him alone.
Mhm.
He can have his share.
Yeah,
And
that's-
then who was doing
Uncle
it?
Charlie. That's
Uncle
who it is.
Charlie
Wilson.
Charlie
Okay.
Wilson.
Shout
Yeah.
out to Chunky.
Oh, he be sitting there. He
He
sits
be
down
dancing.
too.
No, yeah, but
He do.
his last show at the Dell, he was like, he said, "All right, I'm gonna sit down and talk to y'all." That was good. I was like, "That man's good." They
That's how
real
they get
good.
their breaks.
Yeah, he's I'm gonna
Charlie
sit down and talk to y'all. He was out of breath like a mug. But we talking about them in the 80s. Y'all seen
Yeah.
New Edition. They be tired. Bobby Brown.
Bobby
be
Brown.
It'd be
Oh,
Bobby
yeah.
Brown. They need to have a seat right
Yeah.
on
They be
the
like,
side of the stage.
I'm gonna
for
give
him.
Bobby Brown some out beard roll. Like he need a pump because he be out of breath.
Yeah.
Like
You know what was the greatest? I told you that's the greatest group of all time.
They
I
are.
debate all the time with that, but they the greatest group of all
I
time.
could see in his
'Cause they
probably
still
in his
going.
little his
No.
bedroom when he was younger trying
You
to do
think
that.
not? Watching
all
it,
them
man.
dances.
Yeah.
Candy girl.
Everybody.
That's right.
Yeah,
Because-
everything.
but that's
That
the
was our
thing.
era.
They are the
Yeah.
only group outside of maybe the Jackson 5 where every member came out with their own thing
Yeah.
and still have
You
good
said this on the
performance.
Yeah.
last time.
I'm
Yeah.
trying
And
to
I
tell
said
you.
it yeah.
And I will
I said the
argue
Isley
that-
brothers was one too. Like I
Not
was
like
so-
them. Not
yeah,
like
but you
them.
I see what your point. I ain't
Yeah,
gonna
Yeah, not like
you
them.
already
Yeah.
know. It's New Edition.
All right, give us a
building,
song from back when they was younger.
You said Candy. You
Oh,
said
go
Candy
ahead.
Girl.
Yeah, sing it. Let me hear
Is
it.
this the end? I could name
Mm.
few
Because
of
I
them.
know he was in there
What
performing.
school? They had one called School. They had what? They had all
About to
type
have-
of things.
I know. I remember them.
Come on, man. I'm trying to tell you that was my group.
Yeah,
I
80s
just
baby.
knew. I think I
Mhm.
thought I was Bobby Brown. I think I thought I was Bobby.
No,
Brown.
not Bobby Brown.
Yeah, I think
I see you
was
as
Bobby
like
Brown.
Trey- I
I think
see you
was
as-
Bobby Brown.
Because
Oh.
I
Bobby,
forgot who I
Brown was
thought I
the,
was.
you know, he was a wild
I like-
Everybody wanted to be Ralph.
Mhm. I see him
I
being
ain't-
around.
Ralph was that. I like. I did like.
Ralph was a pretty boy, but
Yeah.
but Bobby
Ricky-
Brown was a
I
wild
think Ricky. I liked
Yeah.
the way he danced and
Damn.
dressed.
Mm-hmm.
I was a Ricky fan.
I was Michael
I was
Bivins.
a Ricky fan.
Michael Bivins.
Michael
Yeah, I like
Bivins,
Michael
yeah, he was
Bivins.
in Philly a lot. Michael Bivins was,
He-
know,
And I
He
became a
discovered-
bigger Ricky fan when they
Mm.
were Belle Biv DeVoe.
Yeah, yeah. Everybody liked Ricky though, but
Listen,
Ricky's
don't-
the only one who's really the one in shape too. Like right now.
Yeah, see.
Yeah, but Michael.
Ronnie in shape.
Was it? No, it was. hold on.
Michael Bivins,
Ronnie
though,
Bobby.
you know, Michael
Ronnie
discovered Boys to Men too.
Mhm.
Michael Bivins, yeah.
Yeah. Was that what you about to say?
No, what did you say?
Go ahead.
What y'all say?
All right, Ralph, go ahead.
No, I ain't hear you.
No, I give a lot of respect to Michael Bivins though, because after they had their incident when they were young and they realized they had money and bankrupt like that, he was the one that took everything and really learned the business. And because of that, I feel like he's the reason that New Edition is so relevant today.
Agreed.
From that, he was able to do Belle Biv DeVoe, Boys the Men, ABCD, you know, the whole thing. You know, he went crazy
Because
with
Michael
it.
Bivins, he was the one who, when everybody had basically spent all their money,
Yeah.
he still had his money. He still
That's right.
in a good
Yeah,
position.
yeah,
He learned the business, and then he was like all that
He was the
manager stuff that
businessman.
everybody was taking
Yeah.
from them. When you keep everything at home and you're doing, that's why I tell people, and no matter what you learn the business, because
That's
that's how
right.
you stay relevant in the business.
So I want to know who's the greatest group of all time. I just got
male or female or just in general.
Female. I mean, no, male.
I'm
We're talking about.
I'm good with New Edition because
It gotta be new of all time. It gotta be New Edition.
When you can't talk longevity, absolutely,
absolutely, no question.
I won't dispute
And each
it.
of them have their like multiple albums. It ain't just like they came out with one album and
they've been
bombed.
going since they was like 13, and they like.
And
Six-
then,
I
agree.
then they were big outside of me. Ralph, I think, was the one that didn't do as well as everybody else, but he still had bangers.
You need a man.
Yeah, but that was on. Tell me another one.
But he did, he had
Tell
one
me
more.
another one.
He did have one more. But
But you
I
got
think
Bobby Brown,
yeah.
BBD.
Mhm.
Are you
I
kidding?
know Johnny Gill. I know.
BBD.
Then Johnny Gill came along.
Johnny
Yeah,
Gill was
yeah.
killing them too.
Ooh, yeah. Bobby Brown, you want some other time? So, he sounded like a grown. When he came in, he was like, "Yo, who's that man?" He was like a
Mhm.
grown man coming on the joint. Yeah,
Who's that man?
but that was he gave new life. He breathed new life in the New Edition when he came on. Yeah.
And I do believe at some point in the future they will also be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
They should be.
They should have been there
Yeah.
already.
Well,
What is
no,
that?
I don't know. I mean, well, I can't really say that. You know why? Because people like Dolly Parton just got it last year.
That's
Ah.
crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Dolly just got in last year.
That's
So-
wild.
And it's like when you really
I wonder
think
what's
about,
the.
I don't know what the
So you gotta look at the
criteria is.
stipulations or the criteria. To see
Yeah.
what
That's
it
what I.
is.
Mhm.
I think
Dion.
Dionne Warwick just got it last year. You know what I'm saying? So
Dion, what?
yeah, her and
Yeah.
Dolly Parton were both last year. So when
Mm.
you think of their longevity in the business and Dolly Parton, everything, I mean,
Yeah.
Dolly Parton in 2024, you know what I mean? It's been a minute. But music excellence, those last 3 awards induct Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductions for 2025 were Tom Bell, Nikki Hopkins, and Carol Kay. Cool. I don't know if you guys know them.
Mm-mm.
So that
And
was
don't.
Uh-uh.
Who are they? What
Ah.
genre?
Interesting.
what you looking at, see?
So here's the criteria, real quick. So I'm gonna read a little bit of the criteria
To be inducted?
To be inducted
To
in
the
the Rock and Roll Hall of
Fame.
Fame. Eligibility requirements: an artist or band becomes eligible for nomination 25 years after the release of their first commercial recording. Selection criteria: the primary criteria and the influence and significance of the artist contributes to the development, evolution, perpetuation of rock and roll. Considerations include impact on music, culture, influence, and other musicians. Definitely. Scope, longevity, depth of their career and body of work. Stylistic innovation and music excellence.
I'm still voting for No Edition.
And then it says, so here's a quick summary of the table. It says requirement details. Years, 25 years, main criteria, influence, significant innovation, impact, music excellence. Categories: performer, early influence, non-performer, Ahmet Ergen with music influence, music excellence. And then voting process: nominating committee, international voting panel, and fan vote included. So the fan vote probably like insignificant.
Well, I'm gonna tell you that though, because I did see the poll and I did vote this year.
Oh, you voted.
And so when it came out, because Mariah Carey was also on that list.
Yeah.
And so when I got to see the list, I was like, oh, this is interesting.
Mariah Carey.
Yeah, but I was very surprised to see when it because I was like, oh, Outkast. Oh, I was like surprised to see, some of like our favorites, right? And then when I saw who actually won, I was like, cool. Outkast and Salt and Pepper made it in. Mariah Carey did not.
Hold on. So did 50 Cent got a star, right? Didn't he get
A star on on Hollywood Walk?
Yeah, but that's not.
Probably.
Yeah, I mean, you going in L.A. and they
Yeah.
do them in Philly too.
Yeah,
Like,
Well, because
but
then you got to think about it. The Rock and Roll Hall,
LL did.
yeah, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is something that's been around like it holds like
That's what I
really
was-
high standards. It's been around for a long time. But at one time they were only putting rock and roll in there, right?
that's what I was about to
So
say.
the fact that now
So-
it's been opened up to other genres and they are considering people like you
But
know
why are they higher than the Grammy Hall of Fame or the National Rhythm and Blues Hall of Fame? Like people look at the rock and roll as if
Yeah.
you made it versus the other ones that are Hall
Nobody
of
care
Fame.
about them. They're not.
The
Because they
Grammys
just
or the
they kind of
rhythm
followed
people.
the Rock and Roll.
they
Hall of
did?
Fame.
The Rock and
Okay.
Roll was like kind of like
Yeah.
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 You know who I think should be in there? Luther. Like I feel like Luther just the
You
way
seen Special?
I did.
It's
I
great, man.
did.
He
I'm a
should have been
Luther.
in
Yeah.
Definitely been around 25 years.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely has hip hop.
Yeah.
Not only he got influence in across the board.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Luther.
know.
Luther is
Performances was excellent.
I don't remember
I
a
don't
lot
even
of his
wanna go-
performances.
What?
what? Well, I
One-
guess
one
good. I,
thing
I
about
remember his
Luther-
music. I remember his music videos. I remember
Yeah.
seeing him on stage perform a lot.
They
Yeah.
talked about his.
Yeah.
They talked about his performance because of his keen detail to his uniformity.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, all
Right?
them shiny
His
shoes
shi-
and jackets.
Yeah.
What?
And his
He
backup
wore them in the
dancers. They put.
videos though.
Mm-hmm.
I think I remember.
I mean, he
more
wasn't
his-
pop locking and nothing like that,
No.
but I mean, he was
Mhm.
doing his thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember more of him in music videos than I do live stage performances.
No, he did. He did
Yeah.
them. I remember my parents was. They
Yeah, I
just
remember them.
loved.
He would do kind of like those small, intimate, but he would do like a session, like he, you know how they go to Vegas.
The
and they do
residencies.
residencies.
No,
Oh,
if you
he
should
would
do-
check his
man.
documentary. He sold out.
Yeah.
No, it was thousands.
Easy. No,
He-
I'm saying
did
no.
big ones.
Yeah, he did that, but he did
Oh.
a lot of like because they were
Intimate.
wanting back all the time, and he would come back all the time. My mom was
Mhm.
in love with Luther. I'm
Mine
gonna tell you.
too.
Had
My
all his
father,
albums.
yeah, and he was relevant. He stayed the
Yeah.
course too. So, but okay, my fault. Lady S. Scott.
So a pun on Class Lady Sparkles, good news and bad news. That was all of our good news in music.
Oh,
Okay.
good.
But I do have a little bit of bad
That
news.
was good news.
I do have a little bit of bad news in music. So
No, not go ahead.
Is it really
um,
bad?
for those who are watching or
Yeah.
keeping track, your Sean Diddy's Combs trial has started, and
Yeah.
for most people are following that. Some stuff is good, some stuff is bad. It's just a mix. As you
Mhm.
view, you can create your own thoughts and testimonies. And then Chris Brown was arrested 2 days ago.
Yeah, he's about to
Yeah.
come to Philly. What's the
Chris
heck?
Brown is on a major tour right now, and a sold out tour,
Is he gonna
mind
miss
you.
some tour dates?
And tour dates for Chris Brown.
I know, right?
He is in London right now. And upon arriving in Manchester, he was picked up. I guess they got wind that he was on his way there, and this incident happened in 2023 at a nightclub. He allegedly assaulted a music producer. Music producer claims that he hit him over the head with a
So
bottle.
they got Breezy on a 2-year.
Attacked him, threw him to the ground, and kicked and stomped him and his entourage while he was on the
When
ground.
was this?
2020.
2023. But the thing is, I don't know how the law works cross country.
Mhm.
And I don't know if that was the last time he was over there. But now he's
See.
back over there with like almost like multiple sold out show dates over there. And they upon his private jet landing,
waited for
it was
him.
almost like, I think they probably knew that he was coming back. And
See,
then they
crazy.
picked him
Yeah.
up.
So
Yeah.
my question, even like whatever, even if you ain't do nothing, could you get like somebody to run a report to make sure ain't no warrants or nothing in that country or part of
But
I'm
that's
sure
I'm
somebody
sure
knew,
they,
like-
yeah. That's
He
my
probably
thought
was like,
process.
they ain't gonna do nothing. Or he probably felt it wasn't that significant for something like that. I
for
don't
2
know.
years later?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
That's
there's no
wild.
statute of limitation, right? Plus, I guess it's criminal, right? So they,
But it's
It is.
Yeah.
but isn't one word against the other? Like, why y'all ain't catch me when it happened?
The
Why
thing
ain't-
is, I was trying to find out exactly when the tour dates are scheduled over there because they are holding him in custody and
Mm.
they deny his bail.
Yeah.
what?
Dang,
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Breezy can't catch a break.
yeah.
I like Chris. I like Chris.
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
crazy.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Pre Chris
So
Brown.
he couldn't. So I wonder what the reason is why he got denied bail. I mean,
He's a flight risk, probably. They probably feel like because of his money and his private jet.
And you know,
He
them
gonna
other
leave.
countries be different from
so they
here,
gonna hold him to
man.
trial.
I don't know.
That's the only thing. Those other
Mm.
countries are a little different when it comes to.
Well, I already seen that he's probably gonna miss some of his tour dates. He's probably gonna miss some being held. He might be held. I seen that he might be held to like the beginning of June.
Mm. I know my daughter was like, "Oh my gosh, I've been waiting for this," because the last time she's seen him was years ago, and now she's like, "He's locked up." So y'all might have to get a.
Well, he should be out by
refund.
August 2nd. That's when he's coming to Philly.
Okay, that's that's
Hopefully
hopefully.
you'll
That's why
buy
you
it.
like your
Philly.
June. Long as he make it to Philly, it should be cool.
It's not funny, but
Mm.
Well,
They said he could face up to 16 years.
For the assault.
Yeah, that's a lot.
So
Yeah.
was the man?
August 2nd, he's supposed to be in Tampa, so I'm trying to see if he changed.
So here's some of the
those dates.
details, right? It says, hold on.
Oh, yeah,
All right,
August
you
2nd
still,
is
you still
Tampa.
recording?
No, go ahead.
All
I'm
right.
sorry.
So here are some of the details of the case. Arrest charge: Brown was arrested at the Lowry Hotel in Manchester on
Mhm.
Thursday, May 15, 2025, and charged with grievous bodily harm with intent. The charge stems from an alleged attack at the Tate Club in London's Mayfair district in February 2023, during which Brown is accused of assaulting music producer A. Daiwa, D-I-A-W. How you say that? Daya? I don't know. With a bottle causing serious injuries. Court appearance on Friday, May 16, 2025. Brown appeared in Manchester Magistrates Court. He confirmed his identity but did not enter a plea. Maybe that's what it is. The judge, citing the seriousness of the charge and concerns about Brown being a flight risk, denied bail and ordered him to remain in custody.
Mhm.
That's why.
Yes, she said flight risk.
Yeah, flight risk. Where I'm at.
Because they know he's not from there.
Yeah.
So you got a private
yeah.
jet.
He's not from that country, and he has a private jet.
That's
So they know he's not home.
Yeah,
It's different when you home and they think you're gonna run to somewhere else, but they know that he don't live there.
Yeah, it says it goes on to say, let me see. Next step, the case has been transferred to the Southwark Crown Court in London with the next hearing scheduled for June 13th, 2025. Potential penalty: if convicted of grievous body harm with intent, Brown could face up to 16 years in prison under UK law.
And that's where I was going, because the UK law, that's what I said when I was talking about the laws versus the different countries. It's not like here. And I always tell people, don't go in other countries acting crazy. Like they
That's where homegirl this was at, right?
Yeah.
Brittany Garner.
You can't, you just rush her. I thought she was.
Is that where she was in UK?
Was she in the UK?
No,
she was in Russia.
Yeah,
she was in
Russia.
Russia's, But these other countries, you just have to be really careful because their law is not the United States law. So if you think you know your rights, you don't. Unless you really pay attention to what, and as you're moving around, it changes, but it's not like here.
Wow.
And everything you think you have that's going to protect you is
you
out
ain't-
the door when you're in another country.
I don't understand why people act out when they're in these other countries. Like, nah, if I go to another country, nope, I ain't doing nothing. I don't trust them.
Because that offense here in the United States, so you hit somebody with a bottle, y'all got into a fight in a club.
Wow.
That is going to be, that could be almost like a, what they call it, treason, or
that's right.
like almost like death sentence in another country.
In another country,
Yeah.
here it would be like
Here
a
would be like,
misdemeanor.
yes.
but
But
down
there, it could be something,
especially in a place, say for example, in like Taiwan, where it ain't no crime there, right? They like you ain't. So you come over here starting that nonsense, they're gonna make you a.
That's like Dubai. A
Yeah,
woman go over
exactly.
there and she raised her voice at a man.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, it's a lot of things you just cannot do. Public and all other areas. So, hopefully we'll see how it pan out. I'm kind of track it. He is supposed to be in Philly on August 16th.
August 16th.
August 16th. He's supposed to be in Philly, and also, but he's also supposed to be in DC on August 10th, and in Hershey, PA on August 5th. So all that is right here in the area.
Yeah.
So all of them are driving distance if you didn't get tickets to the Philly show. But yeah, I guess let's see what happens with.
Oh my gosh,
with Breezy.
Yeah. UK prison.
Now, you mentioned the Diddy trial, but you skated over it. What's your thoughts on?
Hold on,
Diddy?
real quick, because we gotta do our ID. I missed this ID.
Oh.
So good. This is your boy Charles Gregory with the beautiful,
Classy Lady Sparkle,
and the beautiful,
Lady Esther,
and the beautiful.
Sharice Mooney.
And you listen to We Talk Weeklies after the talk on WPPMLP Philadelphia 106.5 FM. We Talk Weeklies after the talk, and we are now in one of the stories that Classy Not Classy.
Mm-mm.
Classy already finished
I
her thing. We got
did.
Lady S dot in the
Yeah.
building, man. So go
We
ahead. Holla at
talking
me, Lady S
entertainment.
dot.
So Classy Lady Sparkle was just asking more about the Diddy trial because she said I skated over it.
You did. I ain't gonna hold you. You did. You was like, yeah,
Which I
everyone
most
knows
often
about
do.
that, but then went straight to Chris Brown. Like what?
So because he already in, because I'm sitting here like, well, one's been in jail. We all know he's been in jail, and another one just got. I was about to use the word captive, but that's how I feel because he's locked up in another country, so we don't know what's about to happen to our Breezy. But Diddy,
Don't catch
going back to-
it. Can't catch a tongue.
Going back
What's
to-
going on?
They just had
No Diddy,
The trial,
no Cassie.
No
the trial
Cassie.
has the trial has
No Cassie.
started.
Right.
Folks are on just listening through this testimony, trying to see what's happening. It's all different kind of reports coming. Of course, they're not having like cameras in there, but it's just been a bunch of reports coming from the court rooms in terms of what's happening. And the only thing about that is like mixed information, but they did report that he had like he got like really upset and kind of like almost like went off a little bit.
Who did he?
In regards to some of the testimony that was being said,
As if
so
it were lies.
yeah. So I it's so much happening there to where he's already in a position where anything he does there, he's under this microscope now,
yeah.
right? So he already had other issues coming from phone calls and other stuff that he was doing. I don't, they know who he is, but I don't know how hard or lenient they're being with him when it comes to good and bad behavior during these situations.
Right.
But he's had just multiple things of coming out of there, things that he's doing that he's not supposed to be doing. So
Oh, why he's locked up?
yeah.
I didn't hear about that. Do tell. What happened?
Even like with the phone
What?
calls and stuff like that. So he's like,
He got like a burner?
no, but you're like calling home, and then they're recording recording the conversations.
I'm
They
sure he
got a
got a
burner.
burner.
Yeah, I'm sure he does.
he got
They're
one.
not going to say he does, but I mean,
I hear that he
I'm sure
doesn't
he
have any
does.
black hair dye. That's what I did hear. Like his gray is like
yeah, I saw
Yeah.
pictures of that. And
Oh,
it was so
great.
funny because when I first saw those pictures, I was like, oh, they did that. I thought somebody like photoshopped it, but then I was like, oh, he really just doesn't.
Yeah.
Apparently, he's been dying, and we didn't know.
Mm.
Because now all the photos, I was like,
So
I'm like, man, he's stressed out. He went that great at that.
Do you-
So I thought it was photoshopped.
do you know enough information if I ask questions that you'll be able to answer them? One question is he gave Cassie about maybe 20 or 30 million. We know that.
Mhm.
Was it something that was similar to the Bill Cosby where it's double jeopardy if she takes the stand, or was it for her not to produce a book? Like, why is it that she's able to take the stand even after the payout?
No, I see what you're saying, because that was well, I think the quick, easy answer to that is the civil versus criminal.
Oh, okay. So now that's what I'm
So-
saying. When they paid her, I thought that it was an ironclad
That's civil
something
suit.
that. Well, no, I thought it was ironclad that it wouldn't be able to be criminal as well.
Mm,
Mm.
oh,
No? You know,
I
like
don't
I don't know.
That,
I see it.
I see what you're saying.
Because she was
Yeah.
she was basically telling him that she was going to put up a lawsuit, the videotape.
But
so
that's why it's less about Cassie, more about the trafficking. the sex
but they're
trafficking.
using her
Yeah.
as
testimony.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
yeah.
So it's not necessarily about the domestic abuse.
It's
It's about
right.
The trafficking.
It's about the other
Gotcha.
stuff, and she's
Yeah,
a
the
witness.
racketeering.
She's still a
Yeah.
witness to
Mhm.
a lot of that stuff, because it was like, how long was it? It's like 10 years or something.
Yeah.
We're dealing with each other.
okay. That helps.
So I think her testimony is still going to stand in court.
Mhm.
It's not
Mhm.
necessarily her
it's
case.
still right. The jury can still hear it. You know what I mean? Even if they say strike that from the
Yeah.
evidence or
The
something.
problem with that, though, having Cassie testify, because that implicates her also. When you talk about trafficking, if you're in the commence, if you're with the agency that's doing certain things, so if you're with Diddy and you was his artist, you're with this organization, it's like an organizational thing.
She's
when they talk
co-dealing.
about that. Yes, exactly. That's exactly
She's
what
a
it then
co-deal.
becomes. It's a code. Yeah. So now it's
A
kind
what?
of like
A
co-defendant.
co-defendant.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, but the thing is, she's saying
They probably gave
all of her
immunity-
stuff
immunity or
has
something like that.
has been about, I guess, being forced, or can you say something that's
No.
against your will? You know what I'm saying?
No.
Like, I don't, like,
She said no.
Like, what is
No.
that?
She said no.
Like you were
No.
a willing,
What'd you say?
participant in all this
No.
She
stuff.
said no.
No.
That's happening.
No, her testimony. Well, I've been
She
keeping
can't
up
say
with
that.
some of the reporters, and
Mhm.
I don't get that she was forced. A lot of her now,
that's
not
interesting.
every single time.
Yeah.
Not every single time she was
Mhm,
forced.
mhm, mhm.
Cassie has gave up enough testimony that will prove that a lot of this stuff she did willingly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like she liked it, she wanted it
Mm.
for whatever reason. Whether you was doing it because you wanted to keep up, whatever. If it was about money,
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
if it was about this being young and
Yeah, yeah.
naive,
Mhm.
she did it though.
So
They
so
do it
just
because
just
they want to.
go ahead.
They do it because they want, and I said the same thing when it came to the R. Kelly thing. You did it because of whatever you thought you were going to get out of it.
Out of it, yeah.
Like she's like, I forget her partner, whoever this other woman was saying, the only time he was talking to her about her album was when they were in these positions in these rooms. It's
Mhm.
like, oh, now he's filling her head about all these things he's gonna do for her.
Yeah.
And so you
Mhm.
like, okay, and like as if you let me just so yeah,
Yeah.
you were willing and you did that. Like all them girls
It's
with
extreme.
Yeah.
That's extreme.
it is, but
That's very, very extreme.
but people stay around for what they think they're gonna get, which is crazy.
I can't speak for Cassie, but I've been in some places when I was young, and I really felt like this could be my opportunity to go to the next level if I sell my soul.
Mm.
Right, but I just want to push back a little bit because
Mhm.
I hear that, right? But I hear a lot of women saying, that because he's in power, right? They
Mhm.
feel intimidated, so it forces them to accept certain or do certain behaviors because how big and how powerful he is.
Well, let's shrink it down to a dot.
right.
How many times have you seen young girls with the drug dealers who be like, "Oh, I'm about to get me a pair of earrings, a pair of sneakers," like whatever. It's like the same thing. It's the gold digger mentality. I'm gonna give you this, you give me that. We have a mutual agreement. It's a barter, and now everybody leaves away happy. So I think that's where the consensual is. But on a psychological basis, you got what they call Stockholm syndrome. You got the women's battered syndrome. You got these things where women who are prostitutes are looking for love and looking for this, and then you got the pimp who tells them sweet nothings, and it's still a reciprocal thing, but the mentality of the woman, there's a deficiency there, and I think that's what they're trying to get into. Maybe.
Because when you talk about the position of power thing and the intimidation thing with somebody like this who can say, do this or I will. It's almost like threats.
He can do that.
But that's what I'm saying.
It's almost
Drug
like
dealers
threats.
is the same thing. Like it's just like it ain't filmed, but
Right.
somebody who got power is just a person who's your audience.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Do this or I'm not gonna give you. Do
Right.
this or I'm not do this or I'm gonna tell everybody you know what I'm saying? And then when you and you videotape all these things, the whole
Yeah.
stuff over people's heads. It's like blackmail.
I don't know.
It's so many. It's
I don't know.
so-
I get the position of power, and I get that this being a normal person, you know what I mean,
Right.
and being in that situation where you feel intimidated by the opposite sex, and you be in these situations where you are like, oh, I don't want to say no, this is not really what I want to do, but you, and then you find yourself compromising. But
Yeah.
at what level do you be like no?
Yeah, so
Right.
so that's what I'm
At what
asking.
level do you be like, nah, it's not like
And
this
honestly,
is too much?
I don't out of everything we sit here and saying, I don't believe that it's just one. I believe it's a combination of all of this stuff.
Yeah. No, I
It's
think
a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Cassie
I
is
mean-
so freaking beautiful. I just be looking at her like you
I
are
know.
so.
But
freaking
see,
I know.
gorgeous. Like,
Cassie is the
what?
one we see, but you got Kim Porter, you got Misa Hinton, you got like allegedly, but all these women are probably going to say that they have very similar stories. I mean, I don't know. J-Lo could probably be like, that's why she got out of Dodge. You know what I'm saying? So it could be a lot of women.
No, I believe they know who they can do
do
that
it too.
to and who they don't do it
That
to.
could be true, too.
See,
I think that's so.
I dare
I
not
do.
talk about
I think
it.
that too.
Yeah.
I just
I think he's gonna get off.
I think this though, and this is I
love
don't
your
want people to
input.
come for me. I don't because but I'm gonna say it. It's my opinion. It does not reflect We Talk Weekly's thoughts or anything. What's that
We appreciate
disclaimer?
that.
A disclaimer.
Yeah.
I believe that I don't believe that Diddy is should go to jail for what they're trying him for. However, I believe in karmic, and I believe that he's done things where he had to sit down and God said, you've done these things. I'm gonna show you you're not God.
That's
Whatever
fair,
you're, you know how Hov and them be like, they God.
that's
You
fair.
going to see who I am. You going to pray to me to be like whatever. But I personally think that what he's dealing with, it's like, you know, a person who go to jail for something they didn't do, but you did a lot of stuff that you could have been sitting there for.
Yeah.
That's how I look at his situation.
And it's happening to him right now.
Yes.
It's happening to him right now. And I wouldn't want to, you know, when it was early on, you didn't want to say too much because I've been thinking the same thing the whole time. Like all these things that they are saying that he is guilty of is not a criminal act. It might be a heinous,
sexually
you know, or
deviant.
something like
Being freaky is not a crime.
Yeah, it's
what's
not.
the what's the
contest to your character.
what's the
but-
Playboy guy? The Hefner.
Hugh Hefner.
Yeah,
Hugh
I
Hefner.
mean, I'm quite sure Hugh Hefner had the free calls. That was crazy. You know what I mean? Like, and maybe similar, but
Where's the kid at that they say he raped or whatever? Like they was a kid.
yeah.
Who, Hefner or did he?
Puffy.
Yeah.
I know they said that
I know when they came after Hove, he said, "I'm different."
Well,
he said,
well,
He's
I
that.
got
was it a
money, I
different-
could buy.
Was it a
You know,
different
so-
kid, or was that the same kid? Because I thought it was the one kid that had.
I don't
Both
know.
of
It's
them.
this that
Yeah, I
every
think
time-
that was the one with. Was that the same one with Hove? With,
Yeah,
with
because she
Jay-Z?
said it was
Jay-Z.
both of them.
Yeah, and then it was. They found that it was a lie from the lawyer who was trying to coerce the defendant.
Even the girl's father put out a statement saying, "I don't ever remember driving 3 hours to pick my daughter up." Like I would, he said, like had I did that, I think I would have remembered driving 3 hours to pick her up from somewhere and something like that happened. And he even said he ain't never remember that.
The girl from Danity Kane just came out and was like,
All
I
agree.
ain't testifying. I don't know what y'all to leave me out of it.
And they
Oh,
ate-
she
they
did?
ate her up. And they ate her up too. They was like, "Oh, you've been talking all this time, but now you don't want to."
But she like, yo, I've been talking, y'all ain't been listening. Now y'all
well,
want
now
me?
it counts. So why don't you go talk?
But do it count? It's just, I guess, for his character.
I mean, in the you got the jury. You could do.
I don't know.
I feel like she talked whenever she get a chance because she just was on The Masked Singer, and when they revealed it was her, she stood there and it's like, "Why did Nick Cannon's like, why did you do the show?" And she starts talking about that.
Oh,
so
really?
you talk about that whenever you can get an opportunity to talk about it. And
I didn't know they got her. They wanted her to take the stand though. They did.
Her to take the stand.
That's what
she probably don't want to take the stand.
If you get subpoenaed, you gotta take the stand.
But when
if
she,
you get subpoenaed,
the little lawsuit she had where she only got $300, you thought she would have wanted some more.
That's funny.
Wait, what happened? She had a lawsuit against Diddy
for the publishing when it so.
Oh yeah, and other girls didn't take it or something.
Well, I kind of feel like he knew a lot of this stuff was about to hit the fire because he actually people who he wouldn't give publishing to, he started giving them their publishing, almost like, okay, like you want to now you want to make them, yeah. But the thing is, that publishing came with an NDA agreement.
Right.
So you had to sign an NDA agreement in order to get this publishing because it was almost like his way of shutting people up to sign this NDA. I gave you your publishing because I guess he felt like, right.
I ain't know that.
Yes. So
that's
like,
a businessman move.
A businessman move, but it also figuring I can give them this on as a return. They can be quiet. They didn't sign this. They can't say nothing. And she was fighting for something, and she finally got whatever she was due, and it ended up being like $300.
Oh wow!
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 That's
He should have did.
Pocket
it's
change.
like,
That's
girl, you
probably
went
like
to
in my
Walmart
little
for
my coin pocket here. Just take that.
Oh my gosh, that's
something crazy like
a
$300,
cell phone.
$200. Yeah.
They said that he should have did what Russell Simmons did and went to Belize because it was some type of law that
He did go somewhere and came back though, right?
Who did he?
Yeah.
No, he never went nowhere, and he was telling everybody like, "I'm not running." And he
Right.
he gave up his passports, he gave up everything. He wasn't on his jets. He's like, matter of fact, he even went back to New York because he was in Miami. He went back to New York on some "I'm right here, I'm not running" type stuff.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think he may get off, and I think that people underestimating like how much he may have on other people.
Oh, he does. That's what I'm talking. That's what I was talking about. The
that
tapes.
part.
That part, yeah.
The tapes
part.
between the tapes and the NDAs.
Yeah.
But that was one of the things that was happening while he was in jail. So you're making phone calls home, hey, and during those phone calls,
They
Like,
doing conference calls or calling another call, making.
he was trying to intimidate people from jail.
Gotcha.
And
Oh, I
getting-
think I heard that even through the
yeah?
kids
through
or
the kids,
something.
using
Yes.
his sons. So his sons
Yes.
was running up on people like, yo, you need to stop talking.
Yeah.
run
Yeah.
mouth.
Yeah.
And
They
then,
ran-
you know,
Ray
trying
J
to
or
get
something.
other phone calls. That probably was part of it. And then trying to get to other people through those
Okay.
phone calls. Yeah. So he's like trying to call people from
Mhm.
there. He's still trying to get people to
Mm.
not talk. So that's
Wow.
the thing.
Mm.
Understood.
Yeah.
If Puffy gets off and he comes home, what do y'all think would be like his first course of like
I mean,
recovery?
well, I think
Recovery. I
what I
think he
do
gonna-
think I think he will get off, but of course his career is done. His career is toast. You know what I'm saying? I think that he probably write a book or something
Yup.
like that.
A movie.
Yeah, movie. Probably do a
Mhm.
movie. I think he still got enough
Documentary.
resources to do it. He
Mhm.
probably sent some money across. I mean, now all he gotta do is sit and bank. All this
Right.
is
That's
just
what I was gonna
banking.
say. His career over on that
Yeah,
being the front, but
Yeah.
not.
He lost all his endorsements,
yeah,
but
definitely. I mean,
he lost all his.
That's what they
business
say that this started from, though, with the whole Ciroc and George Clooney, that argument of him suing them because he felt like the agency was pushing George Clooney's, but not pushing his based on race. So they like,
stuff. Yeah.
you know, what they trying to quiet them. But my question to y'all is that do y'all think that this is getting more publicity, like how he did R. Kelly, more than Weinstein, more than what's the other guy?
Weinstein was pretty big for that time.
I don't remember being like
I
this.
remember
Like
that
they
thing was
do.
everywhere. Weinstein, they was talking about conspiracies.
Did they
and
do
all
a
type of
did they
stuff.
do a Netflix doc?
Yeah,
They did
they-
a documentary on
yeah,
Weinstein?
it's one right
I haven't
now.
seen one.
I did. I seen because that's
send
when
it to me
they
because I want
found.
to.
I
I've
will.
been looking to watch.
I think
one
it was
and I haven't seen
on. I want to say Hulu because this is when
because
they
the
were
other
like,
guy I watched all his stuff.
what's
The one
thing?
that killed himself in the jail.
Yeah, well, the one they said that's the one I watched.
Yeah.
All of that.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Mm.
That was
Well,
like
maybe that's
three.
what I'm thinking
that was
about.
like
Yeah, that's
three
what I'm
Netflix
saying.
work.
They did a documentary.
That was Epstein.
Epstein,
I'm
right.
getting them
Epstein and
confused.
Weinstein.
Epstein. Yeah,
Epstein.
Weinstein is the Hollywood director
Oh
because
no,
he was
Right.
over there doing stuff with Oprah and everybody. He's the one that's
He's
in
big
jail.
too.
Yeah,
Oh,
Weinstein. is-
I gotta look them
Oh,
up.
Weinstein and Epstein.
Because I know that's I'm
Epstein,
getting confused now. I'm
No,
getting with the Steins.
Epstein, the one that had his own
Epstein,
island, was flying
yeah,
the chick
and
over
they
to the
trying-
island.
And
Yeah.
did she die? The accomplished woman that
No, they got a joint out on her now.
oh
They got a whole other
I,
documentary
just on her.
talking about how she was the person bringing all these women.
Yeah, that's what
girls
I'm talking
to
about.
him.
So who
Okay,
was
whoever
that's
that girl,
Epstein.
whoever that,
That's
whoever that
Epstein.
lady
Correct.
Oh, so
That's
that's the one. That's
Weinstein.
what I'm talking about.
Yes,
Epstein.
Epstein.
Okay.
Yeah.
all
I
right.
see. I watched all of those.
He's like
Weinstein.
him and Oprah were really good friends. Him and all the Hollywood
Yeah,
people.
that's what I'm
He was
talking
at
about.
He's
every
the head.
That was all over the place.
He was at every Oscars, and people was winning Oscars up on stage.
Yeah.
But
thanking
that's
him.
somebody different. See, that's Weinstein.
Yeah, that's why I was.
No,
I'm talking about Epstein.
Yeah, he wasn't as big as Weinstein in Hollywood.
Okay, well, that was all over the place.
Epstein.
Epstein was all
Okay,
over the place.
but Weinstein is huge.
They went
too.
through his house and everything.
Right,
They
yeah,
talked
yeah.
about they did one on his wife. The wife was making the transactions. Like,
Mhm.
come here, baby.
Was she,
I want
ma-
your-
was she
wasn't
wasn't
even
even
his
his wife. No, she
Oh,
wasn't
yeah?
married.
No, she was just some
Mm-mm.
chick. I don't know
Oh,
if they
man,
was
that's crazy.
dealing with each other
They
or
did.
what.
Yeah, they were.
But I think the biggest thing that floored me about that story was when he started dealing with the owner of New York and Company.
Okay.
Because
Oh.
New York and Company, Bath and Body Works, Abercrombie and
Mm.
Finch, like they all as under one
Mhm.
umbrella. He
Mhm.
started dealing with the owner of that to the point to where people thought they were a couple.
Oh.
Just and then
Two men. It was a-
Epstein did.
no, I know, but the owner of that is a man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the owner of that
okay.
is a man.
Right.
So where people thought they were like a couple,
Right.
it was alleged that he did have some type
Mhm.
of sexual
Mhm.
intimacy with him, but he denied it because everybody's like, "Well, why did you get it?" And then he took that man for all his money.
Mm. And there was also one in royalty.
Like
I
an
think
$80
with,
billion company.
there was also one that was a part of it that was with Princess Di and them with the royal family.
well, yeah.
and-
So Epstein, yes. So Epstein had ties with all these people. He had,
Yeah.
because he had pictures with
Yeah, the president. I
with
think
the-
it was
oh,
Clinton.
Clinton. Bill
Yeah,
Clinton was out on
I
that
seen
island.
Yeah.
The sons from the royal family was out on that island. Everybody was out
Mhm.
on that
Crazy.
island. And he had
I also
this
This
was
is a
everybody.
so although he's
It's
Freak off's
a
been a
lie.
thing.
although
it has.
They've been a thing.
although
Yeah.
he's unalived himself, is it real? Like
although
you know
he's
how-
unalived himself, well, the they're saying that he.
I
You know,
heard-
it's
no,
a
they said that
conspiracy
he-
didn't unalive himself.
Yeah, they said that
He
somebody
had-
left his jail. So, 'cause
See?
yeah.
Just
But
so
no.
happened the night it happened, cameras weren't working.
Yeah,
staff
that's what I'm
wasn't
saying.
around.
You're alleged that
But
he
I
killed
think it's
himself.
because he had so much on people. Like if you watch
Yeah.
this, he has so much on people.
Yeah.
Which I feel the same way.
So
about
he's
Diddy.
so-
Diddy
he-
has so much on people. That's why people are not talking. Nobody wants to
Yeah.
deal with his wrath. You think he still ain't got?
So you think, well, getting
People
back
out
to,
here?
you think going back to Epstein, you think he living on an island like Castaway somewhere?
No, I
Yeah.
think he was murdered.
Oh, you do think he's dead? I don't know. I was like,
well, they said
they
he
didn't-
was,
I didn't
no,
see
they
the
said
body.
he. No, we saw. They showed the body and everything when
I
they brought
didn't
him
see
out.
it. Okay.
So they were saying that,
So he
but
is
they
dead.
were saying he committed suicide.
Right.
I don't think he committed
Got you.
suicide. I think
Now-
they killed him
Okay.
because he had
Right.
he knew too much.
That's why I said he unalived himself, but I
Yeah.
didn't see the body. But you said that you
Yeah,
did.
oh,
Okay,
yeah, it
he
was-
is dead.
They showed you.
I thought it was a Machiavelli type
when
of
they
thing.
took him out, they showed. When
Okay.
they took him out, they should have. But I don't think
Got
he's
you. Okay.
I don't think he committed suicide.
Okay, yeah,
don't.
I wouldn't think so either.
I don't think
Not
he
when
would-
you got
he
that
committed
much
suicide.
dirt on somebody that they like, hey, he gotta go.
I know. So
Yeah,
I'm all right.
allegedly.
See, I'm done. But I know I said I had something little. It seemed like my stomach was the longest.
It's like,
But
yeah,
look-
Jeez, I'm-
It was
because
interesting.
only because I wanted to jump to because you asked for music stuff. So only
Yeah, go ahead.
only because I wanted to jump real quick over to Smokey Robinson, who is the latest in the news, who has been
Oh yeah.
allegedly targeted for
Oh my God.
Sexual
sexual
harassment,
harassment
yeah.
by women, and him and his wife are both your face. Him and his wife are both, denying and no
Mhm.
comment and just trying to let their lawyers speak for them right now.
Did
But over a 20-year
Quincy
type
Jones,
span.
didn't they have something on him too in his later years?
I
No.
don't remember.
Yeah, I'll look, but that's crazy. It's like
But Smokey
people
Robinson
wait
is the latest.
until
This is
like
Yeah.
60 years later.
I know, it was so crazy. I was watching the news. I was like, oh, they done got
Crazy.
Smokey. Who else coming next? Let me Smokey Robinson.
And then they,
Wow.
they want money. They don't want the criminal. They want the money. They don't want the press charges. They want
Yeah.
money.
Because it seems like all this stuff is happening, and I don't remember the statute of limitation is on these type of crimes, but it's
Right.
pretty up there in number.
Mhm.
So it's almost like they're like, I got 2 years left. All right, let me make the call now. Like I don't know what these women are thinking, but
Mm-hmm.
I want to.
Wow.
That's my last story. It's the last thing I'm gonna say. I want to jump over to C.
How old is
I
he?
want C to tell me what he thought as I'm looking at his face.
How old is he?
I
How old is
don't
Smokey?
know.
84.
Wait, I don't.
He's
What do you
crazy.
think?
He up
What
there
do
with
you
Chubby
think?
Checker.
What do I think
Yes.
about Smokey?
Yeah.
I think that's a hot mess.
Yeah.
Either way it
He
goes,
is
if
85.
it's
He's
true,
85.
if it's true, if it's not true, it's just a hot mess. If it is true,
It's
it
still a
just
hot
makes
mess.
me think. It just makes me think of those family members, those uncles. You know what I mean? You think
Mhm.
those uncles.
Mm.
That's in your family.
Mhm,
You know what I mean?
mhm,
I would hate to put that on him.
I
But
think
when you
that-
want to be realistic, you want to start thinking. We all got those people in our family, those
Right.
uncles. Who get touchy feely,
Mhm.
and nobody or everybody know about them, but don't
Right.
ever say nothing.
Yeah.
Keep sweep it under the rug. Them type of uncles, those type of family
Yeah.
members where they
You-
keep it swept under the rug. Nobody don't say nothing.
You know what though? I think
They
back.
know Uncle Smokey was touching them girls.
Yeah, I think back then though they had a different type of culture. What did Charlemagne from Breakfast Club? He was like, it's like a rape culture, which was okay. Like I was watching something on TV Land. It was the old Family Feud. This man went down the line kissing everybody on the lips.
I remember that.
I was like,
He
wait
did.
a
He
minute.
kissed everybody all the time.
And then I seen one interview. It was an older interview, and he kissed the little girl on the lips or asked her inappropriate, and it was in front of parents, and it was like acceptable. So not knowing how long ago this was, it's like I think people are like you said, when a child is feeling like, oh, that you touched me and it didn't feel right. Now I'm old enough to now say you were wrong.
Mhm.
And I don't even know if the assailant knows how wrong they were. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like he might have been like thinking that it was okay because he's done it so much that got away with it that he didn't,
Most
you know?
likely they was touched too. So it's
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because I kind of feel like like you just used it the comparing him to the Family Feud host, the
That
old
was
Family
good,
Feud.
wasn't it?
But back then you could do things that is not
I
you
know.
can't do now. So I'm wondering when it comes to the Smokey Robinson situation, there was some girls thinking back like, Because back then they probably didn't think it was a crime, but today it is.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. They did it years ago.
We talked enough about that, you know. This whole show. All right, come on. All right, so let me get some good news. I like real quick. One more. Yeah, he actually was on the show, friend to the show. But I actually had the opportunity to host a Blue Jacket fashion show where I was the host, and it was about prostate cancer, right? And so about Zero Prostate Cancer, the End of Prostate Cancer is the leading national nonprofit with the mission to end prostate cancer and help all who are impacted, right? And so this was a nonprofit called Zero, and every year they do this huge fashion show. All the gentlemen come in with blue jackets to acknowledge the awareness for prostate cancer. And so Mike Jarrett was one of our honorees.
Yeah,
which makes this even more special. And so I just want to give a shout out. I actually hosted this event, and so we talked a little bit about fashion, so that was pretty cool. But he sent in a video. He was actually covering
the Super
Bowl at the time, which was done. Oh yeah, Spark, you was there.
Yeah. You held it down.
Yeah, so thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, everybody was like, failed to see.
You know what I mean? So it's about, making sure that, we give, so men go and get checked. Just PSA. It's that simple. It's not hard. They don't do anything inappropriate.
Can I give
go ahead, shout out to you.
All right. So I worked in oncology, so I really do have background in prostate cancer. So for men, like Charles said, a PSA is nothing but a blood test. That's it. All you do, you get your arm ready. They'll put the rubber band, which is the venipuncture, the tourniquet around your arm, and you know what your PSA. Now, understand, when you have a high PSA, it doesn't necessarily mean there's cancer, because the test that they're using or they're comparing it to were, let's just say, white men from 40, 50 years ago of their PSA. So necessarily it doesn't mean it, but you should talk to your doctor. Just like women should check their breasts, men should check their scrotum. Always feel to see if there's anything different down there. Also, if you're going to the bathroom, a lot of times men don't realize that your testosterone starts to decline after 35 years old, and your estrogen level starts to come up. So a lot of times the prostate gets enlarged. So if you're going to the bathroom, a lot of times in the middle of the night, it could be other comorbidities like diabetes, other things, but it should also be, let me talk to my doctor, because it is natural for a man's prostate to grow. How do you prevent these type of things as far as keeping a healthy prostate? Eating healthy, working out. Sometimes sperm retention is good, not always having and I might sound a little TMI, but a lot of masturbation or a lot of intimate sex. Sometimes you do need those times where, not all the time, but you know what I'm saying? So those are just things to look into. Again, when you are about 40 years old, get your prostate checked. Also, if you have to get it to the point where they find something and your doctor needs to do a biopsy, it's called a Gleason score. So when they do the biopsy, they do where they'll have a Gleason score to see how high your Gleason score is, to tell you if you have malignancy present. So I hope that was helpful.
Good. That was good information.
Fantastic. All right, y'all. So a couple different things. So I had the opportunity to go to Manila to do a presentation to those over in the country. Now, this was the AICI Global Conference, and what that is the Association of Image Consultants International. These are the top stylist consultants on the planet, right? And so I had the opportunity to go there. They wanted me to talk a little bit about fashion and AI and how we can enhance a lot of the things that you're doing using AI, right? And so I had opportunity to go there. But what was interesting about this is a little less about that, but more about the Game Changer program is where I got my first certification in AI. So shout out to Suman Rahman and the fantastic people about that. I'm only talking about this because I want to amplify this organization, because they specifically target a lot of us. When I say us, I'm talking about the Black folk, right? In helping you get more information about AI. What tends to happen about our community is that we get everything last. They was very specific in making sure that they amplify certain tools and resources out there to make sure that you can get the information to be competitive in this global economy, right? Not be last. And so I took the thing, got a certification, took another class, got another certification. So I'm very well versed in AI. But I say all this to say that I'm very proud and honored that they actually created a video for me, amplifying me about how well I did in the class. So that, to put in context, that's what I'm about to play now. We'll be right back, y'all.
My name is Suleiman Rahman, and I'm the founder and CEO of Diverse Force, which powered the Diverse Force Game Changers Accelerator, a 12-week program designed to equip professionals with the AI and tech skills they need for future career and business success. Charles Gregory was a standout participant in our accelerator, demonstrating not only a deep commitment to learning AI, but also a strong ability to apply it in a way that bridges technology and creativity. Through this program, Charles developed his app, Scene Still, which is a prime example of how AI can be leveraged to revolutionize industries like fashion, media, and branding. His work during the accelerator was a testament to his vision, technical execution, and ability to innovate. Game Changers is all about preparing professionals to lead in this AI-driven future, and Charles is a shining example of the mission in action. His ability to merge AI with fashion and branding is a powerful demonstration of what's possible when creativity meets emerging technology. I have no doubt that his insights at the AICI Global Conference will inspire others to explore the intersection of AI and creative industries, just as he has done through our program. Congratulations, Charles, on this well-earned opportunity to showcase your work on an international stage. We're proud to have been part of your journey, and I look forward to seeing you and continue to push the boundaries of AI and innovation. Cheers.
Just program, and I never tell, we don't do any calls to action, but what I will say is I would like to see more of our folks be active in certain scopes that we normally are not. That's why we always speak on areas of STEM and STEAM, right? And so it's very important for us to be more competitive, because in this infrastructure, it's good to see more of Black folk in it, but I didn't see a lot of us in this ecosystem. Even when I talk about the metaverse and NFTs, we are always last on the boat. So you guys need to jump on, get more informed, get more education, and go from there. So shout out to the Game Changers program and Diverse Force and Suleiman and all the good folks over there.
And shout out to you. What Snoop Dogg said, shout out to me. Like, yeah, we're going to give you
I like
your
to thank
flowers.
me
That's
for
right.
believing in me.
That's right. That's
all right. I'll give myself a round of applause. I like to amplify everybody else, because everybody's doing some great stuff.
Good job.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Since we talk about
and you went to Philippines too, right?
I went to the Philippines. Yeah, I went to the Philippines. Well, that's what I said. Manila, right?
Yeah.
So I went to the Manila. Yeah. So I went to Punta Cana first. Was it Punta Cana? Yeah. No, it was Punta Cana. Yeah, it was a Punta Cana. I can't remember. I went there first, and then I
that
went
was
back
the year before.
Yeah. Year before. And then went to the Philippines in Manila. And
so how was that experience out there? The people, the hospitality?
I'm gonna say this. I never ever went to a place. And first of all, I don't travel. I don't like to travel. I hate going through the TSA. I hate it. Don't touch me. Don't search me. I don't like any of that, right? Don't touch my bag. Don't break my bag. Stop going through my stuff. Stop telling me to take off my shoes. I'm getting triggered by it, right? So, but in any event, I got there, and the people were so nice, man.
Wow.
Really nice. Of course, the women were beautiful over there, but everybody was so nice, and it just made me think that maybe I need to travel more to experience different countries. But one of my biggest fears is going to certain places where I know they don't like us.
Yeah.
You know, and so for me, I will definitely go back there if I had the opportunity. I would definitely go back. They was giving me presents.
I saw the
It was just crazy.
videos.
Aw.
Yeah.
It was good. It was
Aw.
fantastic, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
It's good stuff.
Yeah. So without further ado, Charles Gregory, We Talk Weekly after talk of WPPMIP Philadelphia 106.5 FM. We Talk Weekly after the talk with your boy Charles Gregory and the beautiful,
Class Lady
and the
Sparkle.
beautiful,
Lady Esther.
and the beautiful
Sharice Monique.
Sharice Monique. You got a story for us?
I got a little something.
Holla at us. Give us a round of applause. Holla at us.
Okay, everybody. The time has now come this evening for the Rebuild Your Life segment.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is a segment that I'm so excited about because this has been something that has been birthed from my own personal experience.
Mhm.
Now, the Rebuild Your Life segment is about the beginning of the Rebuild Your Life segment. Starting tonight is about the makeover, right? It's about reinvention. It's about reinventing yourself so you can be the best version of yourself. I don't know about you guys out there, but I know I want to be the best version of me. So that's what I did. I went out and I did that. And now I am sharing it with you so you can be the best version of yourself. So, guys, ladies,
Mhm.
this is about, like I said, reinventing yourself. A lot of us out there have forgotten about our dreams, our goals, because of life. Life has taken over, right?
Mhm.
But now it's time to put the fire back up under those dreams and go after them. And it's about transformation. It's about identifying yourself. It's about having the confidence to go after those dreams. It's about having the confidence to say, I can still do it. This is the Rebuild Your Life brand. This is about transformation. In the news, we just saw Lizzo make this astonishing transformation with her weight loss.
Shout out to Lizzo.
She
Give her a
looks
round of
great.
applause. She looks
Yeah,
amazing.
shout out to Lizzo. And Lizzo is a perfect poster child right now for the Rebuild Your Life makeover segment because she has took the confidence. She has identified herself and she has took the steps to transform. And now she is walking in a new person. And that is a part of what the makeover segment is about. It's about identifying. It's about stepping out on faith. It's about being on a mission. Women on a mission. What does that sound like? What does that feel like? I need you guys to feel this in your soul. I need you to feel this in your spirit. We all have dreams and goals that are sitting there, that are waiting for us to take them off the shelves and go after them. But there's a process. There's a system that we have to follow. And it's starting with the makeover. It's about having the right mindset. It's about knowing who you are.
Mhm.
It's about taking action. But first, we have to, like you asked me earlier, what do you do when somebody comes to you and they have an issue? We got to identify the problem. We have to identify where we are in life and we have to be brutally honest.
Mhm.
So, with that being said, anybody out there who is ready to make that shift in their life, anybody out there who is tired of letting their dreams, letting their goals, letting their potential sit on the back burner, you know you have potential. You know there is something burning inside of you. The time is now. The time is now. That's what I'm here to tell you. The time is now. If I can do it, you can do it. This is the Rebuild Your Life brand. This is time to reinvent yourself. This is time for you to find your identity. This is time for you to live in your perfect self. Starting right here, right now, it's the Rebuild Your Life brand. This is the makeover. This is the makeover. And we have many different moving components to the makeover. But first, we have to start with the mind. We're starting with the mindset. It starts with the top, and then we're going to work down to the bottom, guys.
That's where we at.
That's where we at.
Okay.
Give a round of applause for
Yes.
that. Listen, when you talk about being able to take a moment and assess where you are, right? To reevaluate how you're feeling yourself, to make a change. I think that this is an excellent opportunity to think about that, right? Who are you, right? What is your why, right? Is there opportunity for me to look at myself and say, you know what? There's some things that are missing. There's some things that I can do better. And today is the day. And I think that was an excellent statement. So I'm going to give you a round of applause for that. Because I know you inspired. I know you inspired the people. And that's what we need here. Sometimes we just need a little bit more. We need a little bit more push to make changes. And sometimes we're just scared to make the change, right? Sometimes we just, we're nervous that, if we make a step, then we might step in the wrong direction, or we may not have that safety net. But sometimes we just have to step in faith. Martin Luther King said this. He said the first step of faith is to take the first step. You don't have to see the whole staircase. Just take the first step, right? And so it's important. Just take it. You never know, right? At the very least, right? You can't fail if you ain't try.
Right.
You got to try. Fail forward.
Yeah. I have a saying. In the Rebuild Your Life Planner, and it goes, "What if it just works out? What if it just so happens to work out?
That's right.
This period, point blank. What if it just so happens to work out?"
That's right. That's right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, your boy Charles Gregory, the beautiful,
Classy Lady
and
Sparkle.
the beautiful,
Lady Esther.
and the beautiful
Sharice Mooney.
And this is We Talk Weekly after the talk of WPPMLP Philadelphia 106.5 FM. We Talk Weeklies after the talk, and I think this is an excellent time to put one of our young journalists on. I think I'm gonna go to Ella, and then I'm gonna show you where you can get in contact with us with Alexa, because it's about that time. So put one of our you know what? This is what I'll do. I'm gonna go to Alexa because we don't have that much time. Time ran fast. So I'm gonna go to Alexa to show you where you can actually find us on Alexa, and then we'll see you on the other side. I'm your boy Charles Gregory, the beautiful,
Classy Lady
the
Sparkle.
beautiful,
Lady Esther.
and the beautiful
Sharice Mooney.
And I see y'all on the other side, y'all. Peace.
What's going on? This your favorite fly guy, Charles Gregory. We Talk Weekly. Listen, everyone always asks me, they inbox me, email me, all type of things. We're trying to find your podcast. I mean, we can find your videos everywhere. All we have to do is go to WeTalkWeekly.com, or all we need to do is go to YouTube, or all we need to do is turn on Business Bully Channel, turn on Higher Than 7, turn on, we can find you. But sometimes I just want to work out and I want to listen to your podcast. I want to hear the latest in the sizzle, entertainment news, or good news and bad news, or just simply, I want to hear the interviews, some music, anything sports. I just want to listen. And I don't know where to find your podcast. I said, you know what? It's real simple. All you have to do is ask the right person. Watch this. Hey Alexa, play We Talk Weekly's podcast.
Here's We Talk Weekly from Amazon Music. Here's where you left off in the latest episode. Olivia Jade Red Table Talk, Kevin Hart Backlash for Netflix special No F's Given, and more.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to We Talk Weekly's After the Talk. And I'm your boy Charles Gregory with the beautiful. And the beautiful.
Classy Lady Sparkle.
See, I told you. It's not that hard, ladies and gentlemen. All you have to do is ask the right person. Ask Alexa. Look, I'm out here. Thanks for watching. Keep supporting. Keep subscribing. Keep telling people to chime in. We out here like last year. I love